off my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground. So we can fly again. 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 Oh, we can fly again.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature. Traveling close to the speed of light is a kind of elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
and Doc, you're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we're going up, next floor is us, you're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, we go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
had the chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come.
Welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for rounds 13 and 14 of the Pro-Am GT3 Championship. I am your host, Mathew Duffin, joined once again in the commentary box, as always, by my partner in crime, Dan Davis. Dan, how the devil are we?
A little bit disheartened from last night, but other than that, I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
Very good, especially after last night's stream. Very good to see Fury win a second championship here at Simplay Motorsport. And once again, commiserations to Jay and to Cobb, who couldn't just get over the line to win the championship in that one then. But we are here for the Pro-Am. We are here for GT3s, and we're at a very classical circuit, Dan. The Silverstone, the old layout from, I do believe, the late 60s, early 70s it was. And what a beautiful track to be at. Gorgeous weather and a nice challenge for these drivers.
Yeah, definitely very gorgeous weather at this precise stage for the Pro-Am boys. But Pro, I've seen a quick look at the weather forecast. There's weather looking around. Whether it comes in or not, that's another question. But let's be honest, Matt, let's not call it Silverstone. Let's call it Thruxton. That's what it seems to be more like, as we've raced it already this season here at this amazing circuit with the touring cars, and I would say the touring cars are amazing for this circuit. Very well adapted to this track, but the GT3s is on a different level. Very fast track for these cars, and the car I'm looking at now, the Mercedes-Benz, should be the favourite tonight.
You'd imagine it would be the favourite tonight. It is going to be a very interesting car choice that these drivers have picked tonight. Then it is going to be an interesting one to see who can do what. 4 Mercedes drivers out there in Holty, Lucas Roth, Dean Wysocki and JM Grill out there. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. You feel tonight, though, Dan, that the Ginettas have a slight disadvantage?
Well, this is the thing. I was going to say, actually, like, even though it's a power circuit, at the same time, you still need very good downforce because they're not slow corners. If we were talking about Monza here, then I would say they would definitely be in trouble. But because this track is pretty much fast everywhere, bar the chicane, their downforce can still keep them in it with the corners alone, as long as they stay in the slipstream. So if you've got a well-adapted car to downforce, I mean, we did a quick test session just before we came on, and you're running low downforce. I ran high downforce in the Porsche 911, and we matched near enough one another. So it's definitely, if you got the right setup for a high downforce car, you can be quick here.
You can be quick here, indeed. But what the drivers have got to do, though, is face that tasks of the tricky high-speed corners. And this part in particular, Dan, but the most technical section of the track, the chicane, which could bring into some interesting plays. If you outbrake yourself, there is a few tyre walls that can give the car a hefty damage as well. Another thing, though, I hope the drivers have practiced is the pit entry. Very tricky pit entry. It kind of has its own chicane coming on the entry into the pit lane.
Yeah, definitely so. To be honest, I totally forgot about the pit entry. Obviously, with the touring cars, unless you had damage, you didn't really necessarily need to go into the pits. But yeah, the pits here are horrid. Absolutely horrid. And if you're not paying attention, you can make a mistake and get it very, very wrong.
Indeed, you can. Then, as we go into tonight, we always say about the Mercedes AMGs need 2 race wins to get to 50 race wins in total here at Simplay Motorsport for the Pro-Am. It got its 50th pole last time out at Spa, but 2 wins tonight for the Mercedes, and you feel that that would be enough to give it its 50th race win. As you can see, JM Grill on the back of Brino has a bit of a slide. And the championship, Dan, is still hotting up, but it's becoming a bit more of a 4-way fight now. Little Each leads Bryn by 30 points. Ugbar's 4 then behind Bryn, and JM Grill is 9 off the back of Bryn as well, 25 off the back of Ugbar. So 39 points separate the top 4 at the minute. And really, Little Each in recent weeks hasn't had his best performances, as we saw earlier in the season. So he's kind of got to bring his A game.
Yeah, he definitely has got to step up his A game for sure. The likes of Bryn, who's just having a consistent season. I know he's been struggling with the Audi here, as you can see there, just messing up the final chicane. He needs to have, Little Each needs to kind of find his mojo once again. He needs to find what he had in Pro with his brother, and trying to get beyond the Audi here and really try and grab it by the scruff of the neck and push it as high as he can, which he's doing right now as he's coming to the final chicane. But I'd still keep an eye out for Lucas Roth currently coming out of the pits. We're only gone past halfway, and we're coming to circuits where the Mercedes will dominate for sure. As Little Leach has made a mistake and has ended up in the tyre walls. For example, circuits that this car, the Mercedes, will be strong at. One is here, Daytona is another one, and 2 will be Monza. So it's there's 3 circuits there where this Mercedes can crawl the points back. And with Geeks trying to get back on his A game, he's definitely a man to keep an eye on in the championship.
He is indeed, and Lucas Roth is only 54 points off the championship lead at the moment. Dean Wysocki went up to P6 after his podium last week. He's 68 off the championship lead, with Welshie behind him, 75 off. Max Mulder, you might be wondering where he is. He's been moved into the Pro League. The admins have decided that he is too quick for the Pro-Am and will be put into the Pro. Seeing as we've lost Andy and Disco, he will be put straight into this. We hope to see him out on track tomorrow night, so Holty will then be P8 in the championship, 78 off the lead. Who's had to get himself a new PS4 to get back to his onto the game, because his PS4 just died on him last week. Smithy in P9 with Stovesloff 11th. DJ Phil is P12 with that Bozzy Boy 13th. And Shane bringing up the rear, who we said last week, talked about his consistency last week. And we've got Leon Fernie back out there on the track tonight, so we hope to see him score. 2 drivers not yet in, though, is DJ Phil and Stovesloff, so we hope they both get in.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how Leon Fernie gets on a bit of time away. But hopefully he should be able to get on and get back to his normal ways. But currently, Welshie coming across the line now in the Lamborghini, and still not setting a lap time here yet. But Welshie had a good night's worth of racing and not kill last night.
He did. Very good night for Welshie out there as Rookbar comes across. He goes a little quicker as well, and you can see Lucas Roth and Dean already, and Holty and JM Grill, the top 4 cars. The best of the rest, kind of, is at the minute Shane, which is a little surprising that he's quicker than Rookbar and Little Leach, but just showing how much he's coming on leaps and bounds. Welshie and Leon Fernie yet set time. We've actually 5 Mercedes because Leon's in his Mercedes, so can he get any points on the board this time around? Dan, 22 laps of this track tonight. It is a fast-flowing circuit, and we call it Thruxton because it looked pretty much identical to the Thruxton layout that we have in the real world. Thruxton's your home circuit, if you will, your closest circuit. What's the most challenging part of this track in particular that the drivers have got to watch out for tonight?
Well, there are many different types of things, especially at this circuit, that drivers need to get out for. For example, Holty went through turn 1. Is that inside curve? You do not want to touch it. It's much higher than anything else here. So that inside curve is lethal. And I think, if anything, it's not trying to push too hard around here.
Yeah.
It's the key thing, I think. It's missing your braking points and just misjudging corners, trying to carry too much speed, when really you just need to take your time. You need to ease the car into a happy zone. And I think the other thing is being patient. It's a long race, 22 laps around here. And I think slipstream is going to be key. Drafting is going to be very, very key here. And especially for the likes of the Ginettas, they can't risk not getting involved in incidences. They have to take their time and they have to work through the field bit by bit. But I honestly think if your car is happy and stable, then you've got a good chance of scoring well. But I think it's going to be very difficult not to see a Mercedes at the top step.
It is indeed then, as so far 10 drivers have sat lap. Like I say, we're all awaiting Stovesloff. We are also awaiting DJ Phil. I did text me in the week and says he might be running a little late tonight. He's got other bits to do early on. So Silverstone Classic round 13-14. The championship is, as we've just said, the Constructors' Championship looks like this as DJ Phil gets in now. Pick a Mix Motorsport, 47 clear of Teletubby Motorsport, and you really feel, as a Stovesloff, that's brilliant to see. Teletubby Motorsport, 47 behind, so that really is a chance for Teletubby Motorsport tonight to pull that gap closer to Pick a Mix. Terminal Velocity Racing are 54 behind. What can they do? MC Motorsport, 187 behind. My Mate Racing are on 189, sorry, they're ahead of MC Motorsport. Apologies, that's not gone right. Super Crash Bros on 182 and getting quicker, My Mate on 113. Dean will be hoping that Leon Fernie can score some points tonight. And we've not mentioned the Lamborghini, Dan. It's a very quick car. What can that do around here tonight? Because obviously it's not got we say it's not got the grunt of the Mercedes-Benz, but it's a very fast car in itself. So what can it do?
It is definitely a very fast car. I just think the bumps here for the Lamborghini is really going to struggle. It's going to possibly bottom out as well. She goes back into the pit. But if you can get a decent ride on it, then I'm pretty sure it should be good. It's quite a stiff car. Obviously, most of the guys who joined the practice sessions, I've been running a Lamborghini most of the season. And I've recently found that it's very stiff and very, as you see one of the Audis there of Smithy just spinning it there, turn 2, sorry. But as Ukbar does the same thing. But the Lamborghini, with no front downforce on it, it's very...
Oh!
Whoa!
Smithy
Whoa,
there.
I'm not sure what was happening there.
I'm just going to watch the stream back a minute. Yeah, carry on about the Lamborghini. I'm just going to watch the stream back.
Well, with the no front downforce of the Lamborghini, it's very fast in a straight line because it has no front downforce. But it is very, very loose. And I think it could be strong here if, she finds a good setup. Fast corners, it might struggle in the chicane, which there is a car off in the final chicane. I'm not sure who. That's JM Pearls at the moment. So
little naughty from...
seems to be struggling here.
Yeah, they do a little bit. Little naughty from Smithy. They look like he just turned across Dean Wasocki's nose there then. So Dean's pitted. He's come back out. It doesn't look like his... it looks like his car's absolutely battered and bruised, but he's been in the pits and out, so that will just be a visual effect. He will not be feeling any damage of that. And big opportunity for Dean tonight, Dan. 68 off the back of the front... the leaders in the championship. He's half that deficit off to Ukbar. Got a chance tonight, though, to score some points and sort of put himself in a promotion race.
Well, this is the man who chose the circuit.
Yeah.
This is the circuit that he wanted, and he knows it better than anybody else, and he's been adamant to race here. And we are going to be racing here, and DJ Phil is just looking like I think he was about to come out on track, but obviously not.
And what did he say last week in an interview? History will repeat itself.
Well, I wasn't a part of that history, but I'm pretty sure most people will know what Dean is on about. Obviously, won a few rounds here in another league, and he thinks that he'll be able to be the man. He'll be the man to try to beat tonight.
I love the confidence, though, Dan. I think it's a great attitude to go in and have. He's got to back up his words, though. We saw from Overtaker last week, from the week before, I could do 2:16s and fell way short of that margin. So Dean's kind of got to back up his words like the Overtaker had to do, and I'm sure we'll be keeping a close eye on that as Leon Fernie gets back in. Stealth Sloth's out on track as DJ Phil is still in the pits as well. So all just getting going. There is a car stopped just after Sector 1. That's halfway down what is the Hangar Straight. And that is Smithy. So what has happened there? Has he got moving since his incident with Dean a little earlier?
He's got fuel by the looks of things. I think something's not right about that. Maybe it's his steering wheel or something. Possibly, or pad, whatever's gone wrong. And that's not moving at all. So Smithy with issues there by the looks of things. But yeah, Dean... The good thing about coming to a circuit you know and you picked is confidence is strong. I know that for a fact. When I picked Oscherslaben a few seasons ago in the Porsche, you just know it's your circuit. You know,
yeah.
This is where you have picked. Bathurst as well was another circuit that I picked. You know, Matt, I think it's a couple of seasons you probably picked Donington. You would know that would be your circuit. You know, and I think the same here for Dean. He knows his circuit well enough now. He should be able to perform to the level that he should be able to reach. And there's only one man who can stop him. And that's himself. Yeah, that is himself, rightly said. Lucas Roth, then, the man who has gone... where is it? The man who has gone... Can't find his username here. There he is. Like 134 races.
73 races without a victory. 8/10 quicker than Dean at the minute. So looks like he might be favourite to break that duck, as Ukbar's gone up to 5th ahead of Shane. Shane having a good session himself, but this man didn't do so well at the Scottish, his home track last night. He's obviously driven down south to come down to Silverstone, and he's taking on tonight. But looks this could be one of his best chances, one of 6 best chances for him to win a race this season.
Definitely so, but he's also said that he doesn't want to win a race. He wants to match that record of
190 of Sergio Perez.
Sergio Perez, but the man who is fastest at the minute, Lucas Roth. Let's take a lap of him around this very retro circuit as we head to turn 1, avoiding that inside curb, and you want to hit the apex slap bang in the centre and try and get a great run through here. Not really much to say here, as obviously there's a quick left-hand kink. Very easy to get caught out of another car. It's very slow. So we then head into... He's get disconnected.
Yeah, we've lost him. So we have...
We'll go back on.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that cop.
But then apologies about that. He said the LAN cable had disconnected from the PlayStation. We are back live and good to go though, so I do apologise about that brief moment. Dan, do you remember what you were saying?
We were taking a lap around Silverstone Classic, we were.
We was. Find somebody, because I have actually just found the track map before my Wi-Fi went off there. And some familiar names on some of these corners. So when we find a driver on board, do you mind if I do the track lap and I'll be able to go through the corners? As we've lost Lucas Roth again. Hopefully he can get in. What a shame for him. So we will go a lap on Dean Wysocki then, who's going to dive into the pit lane. What a lad. What an absolute lad. What we can show you, though, is the pit lane. Look at this. Now, Dean's slow at the minute, but the limiter is still not anywhere to be seen. Look, another tricky part of this track. And just as you start to go quick, there's the limiter. So for Dean Wysocki, good bit of practice of coming in the pits. Right then, JM Grill. Let's hope he doesn't pit, as there's 2 minutes left of this session and we can try and get a lap time on here. So apologies about that. While we wait for JM Grill to get to the end, evening to PM Motorsport, good evening to Dean Wysocki, evening to Gary131, and Peaceful Stepdad as well. So yeah, very good evening to all of yous, and apparently they're struggling to hear you, so let's turn you up even more. There we go. So then, a lap of Silverstone Classic then. We come down the start straight, and this is towards Copse Corner, which you can't overtake at, according to Christian Horner. We'll see if anybody can do that tonight. So through Copse, looks a lot different now, obviously. Then we come down towards what is this little left-hand kink, which technically is turn 2, I suppose. It's got a corner name. This is Maggots heading into Beckett's here. Now, how much Maggots and Beckett's have changed over the years? Into Beckett's now, and they've changed so much over the years. Then we've got the Chapel Curve here, this little left-hand kink right here, before heading down the Hanger Straight, which is a very familiar thing after Maggots and Beckett's. But Dan, just how different Maggots and Beckett's is on this layout of the track. Down the Hanger Straight then, we come towards Stowe Corner, as you do in the modern day Silverstone layout. Round Stowe Corner, you're then coming down towards Club. Again, normal corner that you come up to, because you come down the Vale straight towards Club. Into Club you come now. As my house phone's decided to ring, it's all going well tonight, isn't it? Through Club you go. You've got another little flat-out left-hand kink, which is called Abbey Curve. So Abbey coming up here, and then you've got the Farm Straight under the bridge before you get to the Woodcut Chicane, Dan. And that is Silverstone Classic from 1975 to 1986, this layout is.
And what a layout it is, and like I said, it represents more of a thrust and feel, to be honest, as JM Grill actually improves on that lap. So all these guys are improving their lap times. Even Lucas Roth's lap time is starting to get beaten, because Dean Wysocki's gone quicker. He's now into the 23s. So it's definitely a circuit where you need to have confidence. It's not, you can't just go into a corner and hope and pray. It's a track you need to feel confident at.
It is indeed, rightly said there, Dan, as we've got 29 seconds left. This, the drivers on their final laps, unless you're JM Grill. Holty, Shane, Lidley, Schmithy, Bryn and DJ Phil. This will be the final lap of the sessions, and there is a man who's coming towards Sector 2. I'll keep my eyes out on my timing screen to see who that one is, as they've just come through Club and towards Abbey they come. It's not Welshie, it's Ukbar. There we go, he's found Ukbar, and then it will be Welshie then. So let's see Ukbar then. Currently running 4th, but no Lucas Roth in the session at the moment. We hope he can get back in. Ukbar 8 tenths off of Dean, that's not bad, but is that really low fuel to try and get the best out of it?
14.3 litres at the minute, so Ukbar really trying to find something in this car, but across the line he goes, and he stays 6 tenths off at his best at the minute.
I think it was
Dean's
Welshie.
Behind... yeah, he's behind Leon Fernie as Welshie now comes to the final chicane, and Welshie, after a great form in touring cars, probably trying to find some more form back in his Lamborghini as he heads into the final chicane. Can he find a little bit more time and get himself in at least under a second?
Dan Gary's just asked the most important question, I think, of tonight, is will Dean be running his wipers at some point? That's the big question. Every week we seem to see Dean make his pit stop and his wipers come on. So will he do it tonight? As Leon Fernie's just ahead of Dean. Leon Fernie will cross the line and go 11. In fact, no, goes to 9th, 3 seconds down on his time. And Dean, I don't think improved there at the end. Which, and that's the problem with the chicane. But that is the practice session over. And here we go then. Dean, the quickest man out on track. Keegs has a bit of time to try and get in while we wait for this to go through. I don't have the ready up button, so someone else will have to ready up. As we head then into qualifying. Someone out there.
Let's hope nobody's gone to the toilet, because whoever's in the pits, please hit continue. While we are in the pits, Matt, do you want to hear an interesting fact about the man in P2?
Yes, go on.
JM Grill is now officially our eldest driver here at Simplay Motorsport. Let me just say this: when he told me this was absolutely amazing and put a massive smile on my face, and it shows that age is no hindrance, and the man is 71 years old. 71 years old, and he can still drive as well as he does. Like, I take my hats off to him. What a kind of benchmark, you know. I wish that in the future, when I turn 71, I'm still sim racing like this.
Yeah, and testament to JM Grill, that fantastic to see. Evening to Fury's granddad and Little Leach in the chat, and testament to him. So we've had our youngest driver in F1 in Floyd. And now we've got our oldest driver in GT3s. What a turnaround. 10 to 71 is the age range here at Simplay Motorsport, effectively, is what the drivers we've had on the grid.
Yeah, amazing. And I don't know if my dad feels better about this or not, but he's for ages he kept saying, I'm the oldest man here, like they're going to have to give me a handicap. Well, that kind of throws out the window now.
Yeah.
If JM Grill can do it, everyone else should be able to do it.
JM Grill, does he qualify for a bus pass in England? Because I know he's French, isn't he? But does he qualify for the bus pass in England? So there you go. That's how old JM Grill is. And fair play to him. I hope I'm still sim racing, like you said, Dan, at his age.
Yeah, for sure. As I think Lucas Roth did.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
Disappeared again.
No, he's in. Oh no! If you load the speedo up, we have lost. Lucas Roth's joined, and yeah, we've lost Lucas Roth. But his name's at the top of the standings. He's back in again.
Who have we lost then?
We've lost Bryn. Right. Okay. Bryn's now back in. It's all going off tonight, folks. PN Motorsport said that Cops Corner was very tight until 1994. So that's why it's so tight on here. PN says, I'm going to tell my dad that he's 66 on Friday. So there we go then. 18 people currently in the chat. 10 likes on the stream. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new. And get your votes in for who you think will take pole for Quali 1. So far the vote is going the way of Dean Wisocki, with Lidley, Chuck Ball and Bryn also on there. So make sure you get your votes in for who you take pole. Dan, who's your tip?
Oh, I really don't know. If I'm going to have to vote, based on times alone, and if he doesn't have any internet issues, I think it's going to be this man, Lucas Roth.
Yeah, I'm going to go the way of Dean. I'm going to back Dean. I'm going to go for Dean. Fury's granddad. Time for me yet then, Matt. There is indeed, buddy. Don't you worry. Plenty of time to still get out on the PlayStation and get on Project Cars. As Lucas Roth letting his dad go by, not wanting to give his dad the toe.
No, he does not, as I believe Shane is the first man to set a lap time here. So as he's coming into the final sector now, and Shane really been showing some more promise the last few weeks, just really starting to get used to the game. Again, briefly just joined him in a practice session and hearing him as well. He's really getting into it and changing cambers and everything. He's really starting to get on with this game, I think.
Yes, he's really started to pick it up and learn it, and was asking earlier about his tyre pressures. What can he do to change the tyre pressures here and there and everywhere else? As he crosses the line and sets the benchmark of a 24... Sorry, now Uckbar sent the benchmark of a 24.2. So Shane's just started his lap. Little Leach a 26.2, so a bit off the pace. This man, though, we saw him back out, so we're not expecting much from this man's time. Welshie then goes second with a 25 line as... that was Leon Fernie going back to the pits. Holty gets to the line now. He goes second behind Uckbar by nearly a tenth and a half. So that's a bit of a surprise. DJ Phil, what can he do? As Smithy's now heading to the line, and then Stealth Sloth will be there as well. But the vote going the way of Dean Wysocki at the moment. Dan going Lucas Roth. I'm going to go Dean as well. Smithy to the line. Struggles to get through. It's a 38.9. Stealth Sloth a 39.6. Them outlaps maybe for them two. Here comes DJ Phil. What can he do on his time at the moment? A CMCF1 really wants to join this, but he's not part of it. If he wants to join it and is watching, head over to Simplay Motorsport and sign up, because there's room in Pro-Am. JM Grill then to the line as DJ Phil comes through and didn't complete a lap time. JM Grill to the line now, any time from him, and it puts him provisional pole by 7/100ths of a second. Bryn then, he got in late, so is this an outlap for him? I'm not too sure. Uckbar's gone purple sector 1 on my timing screen. Here comes Bryn through the chicane, nice and tidy from there, and that, yeah, is an outlap. Lucas Roth then, no time from Dean Wysocki yet, who's still waiting to put a time on the board. Little Each to the line. What can he do? Not sure who's in front of him, as he improves and goes P4 at the moment. Shane's up to 6th place now, so he's put a lap in. Here's Lucas Roth. He goes provisional pole now by 41/100ths of a second. Where then is Dean Wysocki? Not currently got a lap time in. He's coming through Stowe and down towards Club. Holty, Uckbar, Little Each all in the pit lane. Bryn, Leon, DJ Phil and Dean yet to set a lap time at the moment. Here comes Smithy then. And down at the minute, it's a Mercedes 1, 2, 3, and we expect Dean Wysocki to pretty much bang it in that top 4 as well.
Yeah, definitely so. Stealth Sloth coming into the final sector now. Mercedes are running it, but Uckbar in the Ginetta isn't too far off, but these guys still off their pace. As Stealth Sloth improves on his lap time and moves up position. Has Smithy improved? He has, but doesn't go ahead. And we now wait for Dean to come across the line. Is this an outlap or is this his flyer? Towards the line he goes.
Oh, wow.
He goes fastest.
2,000ths of a second. Dean to Lucas Roth, who's only half a tenth to JM Grill, who's only 300ths ahead of Holty. So it is separated by less than a tenth, just over a tenth between the top 5. Incredibly tight at the minute. Can Leon Fernie's Mercedes make it a Mercedes top 5? What can Bryn do as he comes to line? Not got a lap time in yet. Crosses the line and puts himself P10 at the moment. Leon Fernie hasn't started a lap time. Lucas Roth, though, on my phone, Dan, quickest through sector 1. No purple sector through sector 2. So is this a better time as he drifts it through the first part of the chicane?
Yeah, he nails the final chicane there. Couldn't have been more perfect, and he crosses the line. And he goes 6/10 faster. Lucas Roth extends his gap. Can Dean respond to it? He's got a lot of traffic, though, ahead of him. That is the problem. Uckbar is on an outlap there. And Lucas Roth now going saying, bang, there's the Welsh, there's the time, mate. Try and get it if you can. Little Leach is ahead of this group of cars as they head towards the final chicane.
Yeah, and who's just behind him? It sounded like another Audi. Oh, no, it's not. It's the Lamborghini of Stealth Sloth just behind Little Each, and then it's Smithy behind Stealth Sloth. So Audis and Lamborghinis all the way. Dean at the back of a pack. I wonder if he's backed out of this lap. No, he's right behind DJ Phil. That is Holt who's behind Dean, so he must have got out of it on an outlap. Is Dean up on his time then? No improvement from Little Each or the others coming across line. Smithy's just gone ahead of Bryn, should I say. DJ Phil stays 9th. Here comes Dean Wysocki. No improvement, and that's not the best start to his next lap, so you might want to abandon this one and go again.
I know for a fact that this man here, Holty, has really been trying to improve his driving style, and then he's been actually messaging me quite a lot recently, asking for advice. So hopefully all the advice that I've given him has helped. So at the minute he's P4, but I'm not a Mercedes driver, so it'd be difficult for me to give the right advice.
Leon Fernie crosses the line and puts it up into P8, so showing that he's got a bit of pace here, but behind Bryn, who's improved to P6 then. So Bryn's climbed up the standings on his next lap. Shane, can he get back ahead of his teammate? You betcha! And Shane really taking the fight to Bryn in this race as Lucas Roth goes quicker once again, and we're into the 22s, and Dean Wysocki is going to have 1, maybe 2 laps at this, has got to get it right here. Uckbar to the line, he improves, but only just enough to go ahead of Holty, and by 4,000ths of a second.
Yeah, There we go. Ugbar trying his best here. Literally, he's just got a lot of work to do. He's currently 10th place at the minute and struggling. If Little Leach can find a little bit more time, that would be absolutely ideal. But at this minute, he will be starting 10th. And he's just, this Audi's not working.
It's not working, and Shane and Bryn are actually the lead Audi drivers here. Crosses the line, puts himself up to 9 ahead of Welshie now, but again, well off of the pace. Dean on an outlap, Holty on his flyer now. Can he get back up to make it a Mercedes 1-4? Here comes Holty then, through the chicane, nice and easily, nice and clean as well. Gets to the line now, because the line comes up quick. No improvement there if you're Holty. JM Grill, Lucas Roth, Smithy and Stelfsloff all in the pits, and they will not get another lap time in. They are done for qualifying. So Stelfsloff 14th and Smithy 12th.
Yeah, all those guys are done for qualifying. Lucas Roth, that confident he's going to stay in the pits. As Leon Fernie now goes up to 6th place position. He's finding pace out there as well. But the Audis and the Lamborghinis currently struggling at the minute. Also, the Ginetta of DJ Phil also struggling. But Ugbar is up there and with the Mercedes. A little bit off the pace, but he is there.
He is there, and is splitting. Is stopping two Mercedes, making a Mercedes 1-5. That was Welshie just getting another lap in. Shane's still on a lap. Who's coming to sector 2? I'll check on my phone to see if we can pick up Ugbar. And in front of Ugbar, sounds like it is an Audi of maybe Shane or Bryn, or even Little Leach, should I say, who was 4/10 up on his time, and that would put him right on the back of Bryn. But he's got to get this chicane right, Dan. Not lose any time. He'll get one more run at this. Can he get it across the line and improve? He's ruined his next lap. He does go ahead of Bryn and Shane, but his next lap will be no point in doing that because he's hit the wall. JM Grill in the pits. Holty to the line. There is a car in front of Holty. Not quite sure who that one is. We'll pick that up in a minute. Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely a Ginetta. As DJ Phil didn't improve, neither did Holty. Next car to cross the line. Is it Dean Wysocki? It might be, you know. It is Dean Wysocki. No improvement. Gets one last lap. So it was Bryn and Lucas Roth. Leon Fernie, I think, coming to the line. Bryn, a huge wiggle through the corner. Leon Fernie just in front of him. Doesn't improve. Bryn stays down in P9. Who's the next car to come towards the chicane? Is that Shane? It is Shane, and goes P6, splits Leon Fernie and goes back ahead a Little Leach as well. It's a great job from Shane. Now then, what can, I don't even know who's at the end. It's Welshie, then Ugbar, I do believe. At the end of this lap, can Welshie improve on his P10? No, stays 10th. Stelfsloff is the next car to follow him, but he was on an out lap. That's not going to be an improvement for him. DJ Phil is on a lap, as is Holty and Dean Wysocki. Right then.
Down to these three now. Can DJ Phil get himself any higher? Welshie is done. He's crossed the finish line. It is now down to the Ginetta and the two Mercedes. Holty has been slowly working his car in. Has he found a little bit more pace? Just jump ahead of the Ginetta and JM Grill. DJ Phil currently up 2/10, but it's not really going to get him any further than the position he's currently in. Towards the final chicane he comes. Dean Wysocki is also trying to nail his final lap here. DJ Phil drops it.
Yep.
Holty towards the line. Has he improved on his lap time? No.
So Holty will then stay P5. DJ Phil dropped it. Here comes Dean. The man who can only take pole away from Lucas Roth now. Does he do it? No, he didn't. No. According to my timing screen, he stays second place. So Dan Lucas Roth takes the first point of the night and starts on pole position. Dean, though, closely follows him in second place. And it's a Mercedes 1-2-3.
Yeah, definitely so. As whoever's got the button, then please just hit it so we can get on and race here. But Lucas Roth, like I said, was the man to keep an eye on, and he's gone and put it on pole position here for Teletubby Motorsport.
Shane as well, good qualifying for him down in P6, not far off the back of Holty, only a couple of tenths and well in front of Little Leach and Leon Fernie. So a great job for Shane. He's out-qualified his teammate as well.
Yeah, definitely so. And like I said, Shane's really starting to get confidence now and improve each round as we go. As look at this starting grid, Matt.
And this is the problem with Silverstone Classic, is it is a staggered start line. So you have got to make sure that you get a clean start and get away well, because the start line here can bite you on the bum and can really make it a worrying time. Good evening to Sutty Apex in the chat, as he's now saying that the game sounds quiet. You can never win with these people, can you?
Nah, you can't win.
Well, there we go then. Look at the state of that from Smithy's point of view. He could just tuck up the inside a bit close to the front of the grid.
I mean, look at DJ Phil's. Isn't any better. He's right in the middle as well. So in touring cars, this is great fun. But in these cars, I think it's going to be a lot worse.
Staggered grid, like you see in the motorbikes and like you used to see in the olden days. If you're JM Grill and Ukbar, you get a good start here. You could slip through the middle or down the inside of Dean Wysocki. But saying that, so could Little Leach and Smithy on the cars in the background. And if you're Holty and Bryn and Stelsoff, you might want to stay to the outside. You really feel for the likes of Shane, Leon Fernie, Welsh and DJ Phil.
Yeah. This is, like I said, this is going to be an interesting start to the race. I honestly don't know who's going to come out this clean. But more importantly, Matt, who do you think is going to win the race?
I'm going to say JM Grill.
I'm going to go Lucas Roth. I'm going to stick with my new teammate for the F2.
I'm going to say JM Grill. You're going to go Lucas Roth. The chat are currently going Lucas Roth. 26 people watching, 11 likes. Guys, go hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified. Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier will be live tomorrow night for a shorter pro grid tomorrow night. A lot of people at Goodwood this week, so a shortened pro grid, but we hopefully will get out there and provide the best entertainment we can.
Good thing.
It possibly is, looking at that staggered grid. Lucas Roth then, dominating the votes at the minute. The only other person with a vote is Ukbar. So let's see what will happen then. Pit window opens at the end of lap 6. A flash from Lucas Roth early on. Lights on or off. He keeps them off. It's green and go, and Lucas Roth gets a demon start. So does Bryn in the background, who's already side by side with Holty. And look, the congested midfield has already started to happen. They lean on each other a little bit, but all through relatively cleanly. Now towards turn 1 we go. Bryn got a great start there and has already gained a few places. Dean stays behind Lucas Roth. Ukbar third. Little Leach has managed to get a good start as well up into P4. Holty's 5th place from Bryn in 6th. Shane drops to 7th. JM Grill got mugged off the line. He's down to P9.
I'm very impressed with all the drivers there. Have all managed to negotiate the start of the race without too many incidences.
Think that was Smithy.
Shane and Smithy there coming together. Looks like Shane dropped the rear and bang, into the cards he goes. And once again, Welshie, the worst victim out of all of that. He has no luck here. But it's Lucas Roth leading away from Dean, from Ukbar, Little Leach, and Bryn's right on the back of Little Leach, with Holty dropping down, JM Grill up in the 7th, and Leon Fernie with a good start up in 8th place position.
He is, as well as Holty's gone very, very wide and spins on the exit, and Leon Fernie just narrowly avoids him. Keep that car steady because this car's coming through. Oh, mayhem! That's I think that's Shane who's had another moment. DJ Phil had a spin as well, and Bryn has got past Little Leach then, as Holty's had a spin. And I look back on the stream, Dan, and it seemed like Smithy gave Shane a bit of a tap into the corner, and as he spun, caught Welshie in the process. But this man's left out front already. Ukbar trying to stick with Dean as best he can, and Little Leach up to 4th. Bryn dropped down 7th as JM Grill, and Leon Fernie got through, and Dean at the chicane has lost out and has span round, and Ukbar avoids all the bollards and is now up into 2nd. And Dean, what a catastrophic end to his first lap.
Yeah, it's not what Dean would have wanted. He wanted to get the first couple of laps clean and done out of the way, but he's pushed a little bit too hard, and Welshie now gaining after people losing out. A lot of people probably carrying damage. Holty can recover from this. He has to take his time. His car looks well suited and balanced, but he just needs to take his time. But Keegs, 5.2 seconds, well ahead of the rest of the pack right now.
Keegs is absolutely...
Leon Fernie has come up to 4th.
Yes, yeah, and JM Grill, who had a bad start, is up into the podium places as well. Little Leach, who was by the back, is right up into 2nd place. Because what's happened to Ukbar, Dan? He's 13th. Just noticed, Ukbar must have dropped it somewhere because he's 13th place.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what has happened there. But Ukbar has dropped back to 13th place position. He needs to recover from there. But Little Leach under pressure from the 71-year-old of JM Grill, who's got his own hands full with the youngster of Leon Fernie bringing up the rear of him. The Scotsman trying to hunt down the Frenchman.
Yeah. And the old teammates of last season, the old, I can't remember the team name from last year, as Bryn has dropped it coming into the left-hander, and Dean will sail past, and as Bryn tries to recover it, round he goes. He's all rolled it into the back of Smithy. That's a little naughty.
That's very naughty there. That will be noted for sure. As Bryn rolls back on track dangerously, causing rear damage to himself and Smithy as well. So, not good there from Bryn.
No, he will be able to pit though. He's got no rear wings, so that'll provide his pit stop at least. We'll be able to get into the pits early, but needs to get his head right and recover as he's lost the rear again here. And the Audi struggling. You just feel that some of these Audi drivers may be overdriving the car to get it to match the pace of these Mercedes-Benz. That's put Dean up into 5th then, and JM Grill and Leon Fernie really coming to hunt down Little Leach at the moment as Ukbar's back in tonight. So what has happened? Smithy pitting a little early, but that could be for big damage. Already hit Shane and has then already has been caught by Bryn as well as Phil. He's coming into the pits as well here. So a lot of drivers in. I'm not going to mark down Smithy and Phil. Oh, so that's down to the stewards to see the state of their cars, the state of the damage they've got. We know Bryn's got enough damage because he's got 100% on the rear.
Well, that looks pretty crooked to me, to be fair, and so did Smithy's, to be honest. It looked like it was crabbing. But at the minute, it is all about the...
Lucas!
Okay.
Big slide through... what corner's that one? Through Club Corner.
Abbey?
No, Club. Abbey's the curve, the corner coming up. Big slide, Little Each then. Little Each was 3 seconds slower nearly than Keegs on the last lap. As Bryn has missed his pit box, has he?
I think Smithy's definitely got major damage. He's sitting there for ages right now.
I think Bryn's missed his pit box because he still didn't have any rear wing there.
Yeah, he has missed his pit box.
No, he hasn't.
Again, though.
Did Bryn jump the start then?
Possibly so. Possibly so, because it won't allow you to pit unless you serve the drive-through. So Bryn will have to go around again.
He got a very good start, and I wonder if he dropped it as Little Each just dropped it on his own. And that will promote JM Grill, Leon Fernie, and Dean Wasocki. Welshie, who had a big whack on lap 1. That's Bryn who span around. He stays to one side and off the track. Welshie, who had a big whack on lap 1. He's now gone ahead. In fact, what's happened to Dean? He didn't get past Little Each. He's behind Welshie and Shane. He's had a mistake again.
He has had a mistake. Has he got damage from another car? That is the question. Bryn is still parked up on the side, but we go back to Leon Fernie and JM Grill, who are having a fantastic fight right now. The two guys who didn't look very quick in qualifying are back at the front of the grids. Other than Nikus Roth having that little slide, at the minute these two are doing fantastically well being on the podium right now.
Absolutely great guns from these two at the minute. Welshie trying to get onto the back of DJ Phil, who's had a horrible lap time, a terrible last lap.
DJ Phil's down.
Yeah, he's down a lap. He's obviously, with that long pit stop, he's coming under a pressure from Welshie, who is a lap ahead of him, and Shane not far off the back, and Smithy and Stealth Sloth there. Smithy's a lap down, so I wonder what's happened. Bryn, all on his own, trying to recover that car back to the pits. It's just about for Bryn now getting this to the end, because tell you what, he's going to lose some big points on Little Each. He'll be hoping that the Mercedes drivers could all finish ahead of him, so it's damage limitation.
Yeah, definitely so. As all these guys have tweaked their cars to be very fast in a straight line, it looks like it's not helping them because they just don't have any grip in the corners. And they're all losing out. DJ Phil getting well out of the way. And Shane here has a great run, but he plows into the back of Welshie. That's his own fault there.
Yeah.
Welshie's car did not move, and he just did not anticipate Welshie being a lot slower.
Yeah, I think he just got caught out by the fact that Welshie was just so slow. Leon Fernie has dropped off the back of JM Grill a little bit, and Holty is putting somebody under pressure. In fact, he's just got past Shane. That's who he's just got past. But JM Grill has managed to ease that pressure to Leon Fernie and just extend the gap ever so slightly. Pit window doesn't open till the end of the next lap, let's not forget. So these guys have got to keep it going. 22 laps. It's a long old race. But Dan, this man is cruising at the moment.
He is cruising at the minute. He doesn't need to push hard whatsoever. He's got JM Grill behind him. He can just take his time and pit when he wants to pit. As Stealth Sloth is into the pits, and he's got major damage to the front of that car as well, so that's definitely going to be in there for a while. As Leon Fernie has managed to just drag that gap back down a little bit, but it's just somewhat ebbing and flowing between these two.
It is ebbing and flowing between these two as Bryn finally gets into the pits. Now let's see if he stops, because there was a spare crew out, and it's the first one where he was last. I think he had a drive-through then, Dan.
Possibly so.
So not only was he lap down, he's now 2 laps down on the leader. So Bryn's going to have a recovery drive, and you'd imagine he'll be back in the next race. He'll be back qualified in the next race and hopefully going at it again. Dean is down in 9th place, so his race is going from bad to worse. So 159 last time round. If he's got damage, he needs to get that in at the minute the pit window opens.
Yeah, definitely. As Leon Fernie, his teammate, currently ahead of him. Oh, it's had a moment!
He has had a moment, and is Shane coming in the pits? I wonder if Shane's got damage from the hit of Welshie and the tap. You see that front end all crumpled in. So clearly, a lot of drivers having bad damage early on here where they feel the need to pit. So they had to get to the end of lap 6. The pit window's open now, and Shane pitting a lap early, so I'm sure the stewards might want to see that one. But either way, Welshie up into 4th as he's got past Leon Fernie. Holty's up to 5th and Leon Fernie on the back of Holty now. And that is Bryn, who once again has had a moment, has to keep it nice and steady as Holty then, Leon Fernie, trying to get in the slipstream of DJ Phil as Holty's going to go up the inside. You'd think for Leon Fernie to follow Holty through. Doesn't though, as Dean as well has pitted a lap early.
Has he? Yeah. So Dean has pitted a lap early, so whatever damage he's got, he was unable to keep it going. But Lucas Roth with a massive gap right now.
Yeah, and the bad thing for Dean is he was second place to Lucas Roth. He's now just been lapped by Lucas Roth and is about to be lapped by JM Grill. 66 on the front, says Dean. You might want to keep a picture of that because the stewards may want to look at that one. But that will explain why Dean was so slow and struggling. Either way, it's not gone the way. When he said last week history will repeat itself, he'll want to hope that he can win race 2. But Lucas Roth is just chilling at the minute. We have lost Bryn. And that then, you imagine, will be a qualifying ban for next week.
Yeah, will be a qualifying ban for next week. He will not be able to qualify at Hockenheim, which is the next round of the championship. And right now, Holty really starting to pressurise the back of Welshie right here. And Welshie, after a great performance in the touring cars last night, he'll want to keep that form on as Holty looks to the outside. Going to get the job done. He's a little bit better on the brakes, but Welshie keeping that inside. Brilliant defensive run, but I think Holty got a little bit excited on the power and just lost the rear slightly there. And now he's in the tow back again, but he's got to worry about Leon Fernie right behind him as well.
He's got Leon Fernie right behind him and he's trying to attack and defend. Here comes Leon Fernie, choosing again to go to the outside and take the tow with the car on the outside as Holty tries right round the outside of Welshie. Can't get it towards the apex,
Beautiful
but
move.
A great manoeuvre from Holty there. Job done. Now Leon Fernie to the outside of Welshie. Welshie I don't think's been into the pits yet. Is he carrying damage from that whack he received early on? And Leon Fernie round the outside of Welshie now. And these Mercedes look a very, very quick car here today. And Leon Fernie having a great showing at the moment.
Yeah, definitely so. He's gone right through there. After his little mistake in turn 1, he needs to get back into the flow of things here. As Holty there is lapping Stealth Sloth. So the Stealth Sloth, as Welshie comes bolting into the pits, make sure he doesn't speed and he gets it in.
No, don't forget, the limiter's not till you come around this corner, Dan, let's not forget.
Yeah, but it's still very easy to miss the corner. Miss the pit entry, you can come in there way too hot and hit the tyre walls and get damaged again. As Leon Fernie, they're still trying to clear Stealth Sloth, and Stealth Sloth really making it difficult for him. Leon Fernie, though, always spins him around.
Yeah. I think Dean and Shane pitted actually on the end of lap 6 because now we're on lap 8. So Dean pitted last lap. No, he's on the end of his...
As he sustained that much damage and he's dropped the rear and Dean's come round, I think he's sustained so much damage he had to pit. As,
yeah, you're possibly right. Either way, he's down in 11th, and that's not where he wanted to be. He's got Smithy catching him as well at the moment. Lucas Roth is flying. JM Grill's in a world of his own. And the man who I didn't think expected a podium tonight is this man at the minute, but has got Holty 2 seconds behind him. And No, he hasn't. Holty's gone round, and that will give Leon Fernie an extra place then, and that will be P4 for Leon Fernie. He's now got 5 seconds to Leon Fernie. Holty still can't get it back on track. He's lost out to Ukbar. Where's Welshie then? Out the pit. He's way down at Beckett, so a bit far behind at the moment. He will not get Holty. You'd imagine Holty will get on from there.
Unless most of these guys come into the pits now and serve that extra pit stop, they will have to provide... Oh, Holty, careful. They will have to provide to myself that they did sustain significant damage, that the car is undrivable, and currently at this minute it would be Bryn, Dean, Shane, Stealth Sloth, DJ Phil, and anyone else have I missed?
Shane, DJ, Bryn, Dean, Smithy, and Stealth Sloth.
Smithy, all those guys will have to provide evidence that they had to pit early or they pit again. It's their choice.
I mean, I think the only one that you can argue got away with that was Bryn with his no rear wing. That kind of is a telltale sign. The others, Dean said he's 66 on the stream. It's all right saying that there. It's got to be proven. Holty then comes into the pits and will want to cool his tyres down. Now, is he running the soft tyre? Is that why he started to spin? The Mercedes burnt its soft tyres up very, very quickly. So if he's on the soft tyre, I wonder if drivers are struggling because of that option as well. Keegs 24.9 flying at the minute. as he's known Lucas Roth. Holty's out the pits and is back behind Welshie. So Welshie's jumped Holty in the pits. 13 drivers started this, which means the top 7 cannot qualify. So Holty cannot qualify for race 2 at the minute, and there will only be one Mercedes-Benz in quali 2 at this rate. 23 people still watching, 11 thumbs up buttons hit. Please do hit that thumbs up button as we are approaching the halfway stage of this race, and there is only 7 drivers on the lead lap.
Only 7 drivers on the lead lap, just showing how difficult this circuit actually is. However simple it looks, it is still a well-technical circuit for what it is. The bumps is the main problem. If we actually go on board with Ugbar, you could just feel like this Ginetta does not seem happy here, but it's just very bumpy here. It's a very bumpy circuit. Look at that view.
All over the place, isn't it? Obviously old school circuit, so it's going to be very bumpy. And he, really hits that curb and just not confident through here. As you see Dean having to correct himself coming through Club then towards Abbey. He can see Smithy just in front of him. That is the next car to pass. Slough has just gone through Cop's corner. That is the car then in front of him and Smithy. But Dean has got to get a wiggle on here. He's catching Smithy if he wants to make up more points. All right, he'll gain on Brin. Oh no, what's happened to Welshie?
He's down a moment. He needs to get it into reverse and get it out of the tyre wall. He's clear for a minute. But Shane will be the next car to come as the sun goes by. And let me just say that Leon Fernie is the only man who is able to match Lucas's pace at the minute. The only other man in the 25s.
It is so great to see, as we say. A very good evening to Laura, and Welsh's car all over the place. Shane slides past him. DJ Phil will be the next man to pass him as Dean attacking the back of Smithy here, and Smithy just outbrakes himself. Dean nice and steady through the corner. You'd imagine though that Mercedes grunt in the slipstream of Smithy should get him down the hanger straight and towards Stowe. In fact, he's already going to have a look to try and come up the inside without the slipstream is Dean Wysocki, and look at the difference in speed there though. He's Lucas Roth in the background. These are on lap 9. He's on lap 11. Yet to pit though, and Dean, job done. Smithy going to have a look back at him. Welshie with big damage. This is a chance for these two to gain on the back of Welshie as Dean a little wiggly out the exit to Stowe corner.
How much of a damage has Welshie got? Is he able to hang with it now for the rest of this race? He's basically got 11 laps to go as JM Girl just in the background. He had a little wiggle or moment there, but at this minute, Leon Fernie is lapping quicker than Lucas Roth right now.
And it's fantastic to see.
How quick he's going. He's catching Little Leach at a fast race of knots right now.
He struggled all season as Leon Fernie, and he was 1.5 seconds quicker than Little Leach last time around, and he had a mistake early on, and Dean is back in the pit lane. So what's happened to Dean? Did he hear that he's pitted too early, and he's pitting again, and he's got the pit entry all wrong?
A man who's picked this circuit and was looking so good to possibly get a race win here, and it's just thrown it away right now. He will be able to qualify for a race 2 though at this stage.
The bonus for him is he doesn't have to pit again, Dan. He doesn't have to provide the evidence. He doesn't need to pit again because he's done it Little Leach so on an improved lap. How much fuel has Dean got, said Gary in the chat. I don't actually know. I've not actually looked. He's coming in the pit lane. He's got a lot of fuel to say this is only a 22-lap race. Yeah, you're right there, Gary, then. That was Lucas Roth flashing the back of Smithy in the background then to try and get past him. Welshie cannot carry on with the damage and comes into the pits, which allows DJ Phil to get through, and you'd imagine might allow Slough to get through as well, who's coming round the final corner. Ukbar, he's into the pits, not yet pitted. At the end of lap 12 for him, he comes in. We've also not seen Leon Fernie, Lucas Roth and JM Grill or Little Leach in the pits. Slough has now got past Welshie. Where is Smithy on the track? I think that's him behind Lucas Roth. It is. So can he get past Welshie now? Dean, if he didn't pit, obviously if he didn't have the damage, could have maybe got past Welshie and gained an extra 2 places.
Welshie's not moving, and looks like Smithy will get back ahead of Welshie here. So Smithy crosses the line and moves up another position here. He will have to provide me, unless he comes into the pits, he will have to provide evidence that he did have significant damage. Yeah,
as Welshie then goes away. Dean Wysocki's coming towards the back end of the track. DJ Phil is a full tanker every week with how much he carries, so he must be another one who's running very heavy fuel. There he is, another 58 litres by halfway through the race. You want to be down in towards the low 30 sort of litres mark.
I just don't think DJ Phil has any like worry about the fuel crisis that's going on here. As Little Leach, I think, he's into the pits.
He's into the pits, as is JM Grill then. So at the end of lap 12. It's hard to say what the end of the lap is because they start the lap before they even get into the box.
So I think Dean definitely pitted on the run. That's why he came back in again.
Yeah.
So Leon Fernie now in net second at this stage, and he's matching Lucas Roth at the minute.
And if he keeps lapping like this, as Ukbar's made a mistake and rejoins into clear air behind Holty, though, so Holty makes it top 5 at the minute for him. Shane is now in 7th place, where he can't qualify for this second race at the moment, and well clear of DJ Phil. Little Each comes out the pits. Holty nowhere near him to get past. JM Grill was long gone in his pit stop. Leon Fernie still got a pit then, so net second at the moment, but we imagine will come out about 4th. But if he keeps lapping at the pace he's doing, don't forget, can pit at the end of lap 21. So if he keeps going at that pace, could have a big enough gap over JM Grill and over Little Each that he could get in and get out very, very quickly. That is his teammate behind him, who is a lap down as the leader comes in at the end of lap 13.
And this is the man who doesn't want to win a race and keep that record going of longest without a race win. But Lucas Roth is finally into the pits, and if he does that, then I'll be amazed tonight, because Keeks is looking so strong here tonight. Looking
very strong. And Leon Fernie then, just getting the pit entry a little wrong there, but he's coming into the pit. So in he comes now. Hard pit entry, and we're seeing drivers just struggle. JM Grill should get past. Lucas Roth is already on his way. Leon Fernie's not even at his pit box yet. And Lucas Roth has gone. JM Grill will come back in second place. Little Each, depending on how good a stop Leon Fernie has, might be close. Leon Fernie at his box. Stops. Being held.
It's not the best, but he's on his way. Little Each into the chicane. So I think Leon he's going to be off the power quite soon, but I think Little Each just hangs on.
Just hangs on, but Leon Fernie must be even close then. There, at the bottom of your screen, was Little Each going through. Stoff got it all sideways, and he's made a mistake. Round he goes, and Leon Fernie is that bit closer to Little Each now, and we'll be able to see him even more. DJ Phil trying to gain on the back of Shane, but he's some 40 seconds behind. Smithy trying to gain on the back of Soft, but he's 57 seconds behind. That cannot be right. He's 18 seconds behind as the timing screen changes then. And Dan Smithy at the minute struggling, but Leon Fernie can sniff a podium here.
I believe he was already in a podium position, surely, before.
No, he was behind Little Each after he had a moment, didn't he? Remember?
Oh, yeah, true. I've been a long day for me, guys. I'm still struggling to stay awake here. But Little Each is ahead of Leon Fernie, and he's got a big job on his hands with Leon Fernie coming to hunt him down. And with the lap times he's been doing and matching the likes of Keats and the rest of the boys, Leon Fernie is definitely going to be one to keep an eye out for the rest of this race.
Oh, that's DJ Phil off on the side of the road, lets the leaders come through and joins back on. So that will help Slough and Smithy to maybe gain an extra place in this one then. Looking at Shane at the minute, he's only 11 seconds off the back of Ukbar, but with some 7/10 quicker on the last lap than Ukbar. So maybe Shane just trying to have a late charge to catch on to the back of Ukbar. 9.6 seconds is the gap. And we know the Genettas are struggling a little bit, so could Shane get himself a top 6? His best finish at Simplay Motorsport is 7th place. So we'll want to maybe get that 6th place to get it done. DJ Phil back in the pits.
He won't need to provide me any footage anymore. DJ Phil back into the pits. He pits within the pit window, and Leon Fernie's still trying to put pressure on Little Each at the stage, but at the minute, he's not able to get quite close enough. Little Each, actually, that lap was probably one of his better laps.
Yes.
As DJ Phil into the pits as well. She now trying to hunt down Smithy. This fight's going on up and down the grid as Shane is also trying to catch Ukbar at the stage. And Ukbar's touched that curb. And how has he managed to stay on now? I don't know.
Shane's got the gap down to 6.9 seconds. So he's gained some 3 seconds towards the back end of that lap. It was 9 seconds when we last saw him.
I think Ukbar's carrying damage. If you look at the front of his car.
I reckon you're right. Because Shane is gaining at a rate of knots. Ukbar maybe not. He maybe made a mistake last lap because look, a 36.4 from Ukbar and a 26.1 from Shane. Shane is quicker last time round than Little Each. Flying at the minute is Shane, having a really good time of it. DJ Phil came out the pits right ahead of Dean Wysocki. 9 seconds is that gap. As Smithy under pressure from his old foe, and he will not like it if Welsh gets through. Just moving across the track there, and Welsh trying to follow him, and Smithy then has that lead coming into Stowe Corner. Welshie off, and is that going to spin the car around? It does, and he brakes to let Shane through, and Shane now away. I suppose what Smithy made his one move there. I think he's on the pad though. That explains that he might be on the pad.
Both drivers are on the pad, but again, Leon Fernie takes a lot of curb there. Little Leach runs wide, but they're not that fast. Leon Fernie, after pitting, he's not back to his usual pace. He's actually a lot slower than Little Leach a little bit slower this lap. And Lucas sort of back in his element here, 25.4.
30 seconds ahead of JM Grill, 37 ahead of Little Leach and 38 ahead of Leon Fernie. As that's Ukbar, who looked very slidey out the chicane there, and the gap to Shane is down to 3.2 seconds. So Shane is on a real charge here to try and catch and pass the back of Ukbar, as Smithy's now well in front of Welshie. Welshie's got to worry about. In fact, Ukbar has made a mistake. Does he have suspension damage? Because that looked like he was crabbing a little bit. Well, Little Leach wide at the exit of Stowe. Let's just go back. It was Ukbar on the exit to turn 1. Looked like he had some suspension damage. Little Leach, though, was wide at Stowe. Leon Fernie on the grass, and here's Ukbar. Just...
Oh,
that's pulling. That is pulling badly.
Yeah, looks like it's not... That car does not look happy at its moment right now. Possibly hit a tyre wall or something like that. Can knock the tracking or the suspension out by quite a bit. So, right now, Ukbar has got it all to do as he's going sideways, as he's got Shane hunting him down right now. Oh, and off he goes then. The suspension damage just too much for Ukbar, and he's gone deep off. He's gone toward himself a coffee. And now then, Stelsoft can maybe try and hunt after him, as Leon Fernie is coming on the back of Little Leach. Again, not in that 24-25 pace that he was in earlier, but 4 tenths quicker last time around, and Holty was quicker than the pair of them. Holty is only about 6 seconds off the back of Leon Fernie, and there's still plenty of time left in this race at the moment. Yeah, like I said, Holty just needed time to get himself together. It looked like Holty actually had a very good race setup instead of a qualifying setup. Yeah. So, obviously, he looks like he set the car up beautifully here, and he's now trying to hunt down the leading two at this stage, and try and get on the podium if he possibly can, join his teammate, because the Teletubby boys have suddenly got a sudden burst in wind. And Little Leach outscoring Bryn right now. With no Bryn in this race. Lucas Roth will get himself back in this championship fight. He will indeed, and I'm sure the Teletubby boys were celebrating hard after Fury's championship win last night. But Leon Fernie, no points on the board yet after 4 races that he's turned up to. Really needs to get some points, and he's going to get some decent points here as well. And like you say, with no Bryn in this one, that kind of helps out Holty and JM Grill and Ukbar to outscore Bryn in this race and move above him in the championship. Then here comes Leon Fernie. He's getting closer, and they are gapping Holty a little bit. That gap's gone up to 7 seconds, so they are gapping Holty this lap. Yeah, I think the thing is, Holty needs to just get into a groove. He's coming through the final chicane now. Those two did low 26s. He's matching them. Yeah. But he really needs to hope that these two get together and will not get together as such, but catch each other and start fighting one another, as Bryn is disconnected from the session. But he really needs to hope that something happens between these two so he can really get onto the back of them. But to be honest, they're all not that too far away from JM Grill. He's only 6 seconds up the road, so if anything happens to him, then they're still in the ballpark of getting their second place here. They are, as Holty's not far off the back of Leon Fernie either, so it's like a 4-way battle. If JM Grill makes a mistake, Little Leach and Leon Fernie could be in. If Holty goes well and Little Leach and Leon Fernie make a mistake, he could be in for a podium. So it is all happening at the minute. Shane has dropped Ukbar and is matching the 4 cars in front. Lucas Roth had a bit of a slow lap last time round, and look at Shane's pace. He's matching the cars in front, so it's really good to see that. Ukbar in the 31s has got Stelsoft behind him, but not on the pace at all. Smithy is some 18 seconds behind Stelsoft, and 2 seconds a lap. He's not going to be quick enough to catch the back of him. Dean 10 seconds to DJ Phil, was 2 seconds quicker last lap. Dean will be hoping to get past DJ Phil for some more extra points, because everybody in front of him outscoring him at the moment and going great guns. JM Grill just done his best lap of the race, and it's a 25.7. Little Leach and Leon Fernie. Little Leach does his best lap of the race, and Leon Fernie decides, I'm going to just match you. So upping the pace, JM Grill, but Little Leach and Leon Fernie matching them, and Holty, the quickest out of the 4 of them. Yeah, this is what's happening now. They're all starting to get into a groove. The tyres are now starting to be a little bit happier. Obviously, if they're running the hard tyres, they will be at the right pressure, the right temperature. But we do seem to know that the left-hand side of the car seems to get hotter. Obviously, long, fast right-handers here. So the left-hand side of the car is really going to be stressing, and the tyres are going to be screaming at them right now. And with also the pressure of Leon Fernie, he's in the dirty air, so his tyres are not going to be as happier as Little Leach's either. So that dirty air being produced from the back of that Audi is probably not helping Leon Fernie right now.
And look at that, Dan. Shane goes, oh, we're doing 25s? All right, I fancy one myself, and he matches them. This boy is getting better and better. What a shame he had a couple of spins early on, because he could be in this fight here. Lucas Roth puts a lap on Smithy. Leon Fernie still staring at the back of that Audi. And he'll be able to paint us a picture of what the back of the Audi looks like, and we can put it in the collection. We have Plava's drawing of my Acura, and Andy's drawing of your McLaren, and the others that we've got drawings of. Yeah, possibly.
I got a lovely drawing of the back of Gary's BMW last night, so...
yeah, there we go. We can. We'll open the gallery soon enough as everybody just drops into the 26ers. Holty's gained a little bit. He's now got the gap to 5.5 seconds.
Holty's still doing 25s. He's made that gap. So if he just keeps doing that, and these two are just losing pace ever so slightly, I don't think Leon Fernie can catch Little Leach at this stage. I really don't think he can.
I think he's gave it all he's got, and it's not enough. I don't think he's got enough to catch him and get past him. No, I think you're right, Dan.
I think Little Leach just seems to manage to find where the car seems to be happy. He's found that comfortable gap, and Leon Fernie now is not able to catch, as DJ Phil, I think, has had another moment. He's had a moment with his teammate by the looks of things.
He has had a moment with his teammate. What's happened there then? That has allowed Dean Wysocki to get through and get 11th place. Here comes JM Grill as DJ Phil rejoins the track, and Wall was coming across the track a minute here, and JM Grill has had to move right out of the way. But that then has cost Ukbar a bit of time towards Stonesoft. Now, luckily enough, he's got plenty of time. Well, she's gaining on the back of Smithy once again. But at the moment, you have to say, it's the battle for the final podium spot that is really hotting up here.
Yeah, definitely so. As Little Leach, just as we saw in the background, just went a little bit wide on exit there. And Leon Fernie's just gained a little bit more time, but not enough. I think that dirty air of the Audi is really hurting him. He's not able to get any closer than this.
He's not at all, as DJ Phil looks like he could be done for that race, and that could be big damage for him. Not sure what happened. Although Leon Fernie looked a lot closer to Little Leach coming out the back of the chicane there. He's just got the gap down under 0.3 of a second, and Holty once again, look, at 25.1 to pull down another 0.9. 4.7 is the gap now, but there's a big gap between them.
Matching him.
He is, and he's flying at the minute, is Shane. He's absolutely going brilliant. Great guns at the moment.
He is indeed. We've only got 2 laps left of this race, so if Holty is going to hope for something, he's got to hope that these two come together, as Little Leach now has to defend from Leon Fernie, and that Mercedes grunt is just going to have to outdrag him, but they got a wounded set of Gianettas in front of them, of DJ Phil and Ukbar. Little Leach has to make one move, and he's going to have to decide when he wants to make it, but Leon Fernie's right on the back, but chooses to be a little bit more cautious. 11 litres in that car, so he should be alright to get to the end of this race. But Little Leach under some massive pressure right now.
Yeah, under massive pressure at the minute from Leon Fernie, who's just got a bit closer. Welsh's just got past Smithy as well on the timing screens, and Little Leach not making the apex of the corner, but doesn't seem to be hurting him massively. Smithy, though, will want to come and look at Welsh, and Leon Fernie then really now trying to start to put that pressure on with 1 lap to go. Lucas Roth is pretty much halfway round his final lap, I do believe. Yeah, he is, look. He's halfway round his final lap. Little H, he's dropped it at the final chicane on the penultimate lap, and he's hit the tyre wall, and now even Holty's going to get through. So at the very end of this race, Little Leach has absolutely chucked it away. We say good evening to Jiffers in the chat as well. Welshie well ahead of Smithy now. He's not got to worry about Dean Wysocki. But this man, Dan, has been so dominant from start to finish. In practice, in qualifying. It's going to be his first ever race win at Simplay Motorsport at the 74th time of asking.
Wow, we've waited this long for Keys to get a race win. This is mad. Unless he decides to just disconnect now so he can carry on that streak.
Oh, but, don't.
Lucas Roth into the final corner now. Keys finally with a race win.
He's got a flash of the lights. He slows down so we can see the flash of the lights. It's a great win for Lucas Roth, who takes the opening race win. Look at JM Grill. In the background is Leon Fernie, so he needs to keep it steady and keep it going, because this second place isn't wrapped up yet, but it will be a string of 3 second places in a row for JM Grill if he can get it there towards the end at the end of this race. Through Abbey he goes. He's just got the Woodcut chicane now to navigate, get it right. It's job done. front. What has happened? No, sorry, Little Leach. I was looking. I couldn't find Shane there. Sorry, I couldn't find Shane. JM Grill, cautious into that last chicane. And through he comes. 3 second places in a row. But the man who's not scored a single point yet has dropped it. And where's Holty? Oh, incident. And Holty is going to take it at the line. A spin from Leon Fernie, and Little Leach is going to come through for 4th place, and Leon drops all the way to 5th. Heartbreak.
Heartbreak for Leon Fernie there, and I think as well, not the best option for him to come into the racing line there. I know he's trying to get going as quickly as he can, but Holty really had nowhere to go. But hey, 3rd place, a good recovery from him. Shane's going to home him a very good 6th place position. Yeah, very good 6th place. His best finish here at Simplay Motorsport, matching the pace of the others in front. Ukbar's already crossed the line for P7. Stealth Sloth has had a spin at the chicane. He is going to get a P8. And I'm not sure what happened to Welshie there, to Smithy there, but I can't see where Smithy crossed line. Welshie was 9th. Smithy got 10th place. Dean Wasocki comes home for an 11th place and the fastest lap of the race. A 24.6 from Keegs. And that is the fastest lap of the race, Dan. So pole position, fastest lap, race 1. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. We'll be back, though, in 5 minutes' time with race 2. And if race 1 was anything to go by, do not go anywhere.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. at the sun, staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days,
To then the top 7 from race 1 cannot qualify, and we are missing somebody from the grid, but hopefully they can get themselves in. I do believe it's Holty, so Holty, if you are there, can you get yourself in, buddy? We have the top 2 in. James Grill obviously not very good at his English, so it isn't in with us tonight, but we will go to Keeps. We have no cameraman at the moment. Dan's gone for a wee, and I wasn't informed because I went for a wee and then readied up when I got back. But the championship standings do look like this. And it's Little Leach who has a 32-point lead from JM Grill now, with Uckbart 38 behind. Lucas Roth climbs up to P4. He's only 40 points off the back of this championship with Bryn on 43. Dean Wasocki 76 behind. He's tied in P6 with Holty, as Welsh is in P8. P9 is Max, but obviously with Max being promoted to the Pro, it's technically Smithy. Sosoff in 10th with DJ Phil 11th. That Bozzy Boy down in 12th. Shane 13th. And Leon Fernie bringing up the rear in at 14th place on 11 points. The Constructors' Championship looks like this, and for Pick and Mix Motorsport, their championship lead has nearly been halved by Teletubby Motorsport. 24 points now is the gap, with Terminal Velocity Racing 60 behind. My Mate Racing up to 4th, 87 off the back, with MC Motorsport getting that little closer. Super Crash Bros are on 192, well ahead of Getting Quicker My Mate. And we do have Holty and Keegs in the party with us, as I do believe our beloved Daniel has just got back. We've lost another driver, so hopefully they can get back in. Holty is in, but we have lost another driver. But we will start with Holty. Stovsloff is the one who's disconnected. And a P3, but at the end, because two drivers kind of made a mistake. Great pace from yourself tonight as well out there. I had a bit more than the two cars in front of you. Just a few earlier mistakes that kind of put you in that situation. Yeah, definitely points to gain back from what Spa was. Race 2, though, you're going to start towards the back end of the grid. What can you do from there? Well, we wish you the best luck, buddy, and hope you give him a good drive out there in race 2. And it's took him 74 race starts, but he's finally got a win to his name. Keegs, that was done in style, wasn't it?
I don't know what just happened, to be honest. It all went right, let's just say that.
You kind of quick pace in practice, pole position in qualifying, fastest lap in the race, and a dominant race performance. Bit of a clean sweep from yourself. It was good to be out there.
Yeah, we were doing a couple of practice sessions before, and I was only doing 24, so to come out and practice with a 23.3, I think it was I thought was solid, and then disconnected. I don't know what happened there. Come back and qualify at 22.9. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, you did a 22.9, very good pace from yourself, and was a lot quicker than the leaders. Leon Fernie seemed to match you at times, but did your tyres sort of drop off at the pit stop, because it seemed to take a while to get back into them 24s again?
I wouldn't say my tyre sort of dropped off. I don't really like being out in front. I got a bit bored, and I was starting to make some mistakes. So, I just started losing a bit of time, but as soon as I got back into it, I was fine. 74 races though, and it's done now. You finally won a race. It's about time, to be honest. That's all I'm going to say about that.
What was it? Spa, I think it was. Mazda was going to let you have the win in the BMW Season 1, and that was early on in the season. That feels like a long time ago. That's nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah, we won't speak about that. That just all went wrong.
Race 2. Sorry, Dan.
I just have one little question to ask Keegs. Can you just continue that on in our F2 season? That'd be absolutely amazing.
I'll try my best for you, Dan. I will try my best for you.
I'll support you as best I can.
We have lost
Shane and Stovsloff.
Yeah, Stovsloff and Shane. So hopefully they can get back in. We've got plenty of time, and they don't have the 2-minute warning on the Online Championship. Keegs, you start by the back of the pack. In fact, at the minute, you start last. What can you do from there?
Same as every week. This time we have a bit more pace though, so hopefully we can come through without getting hit or anything.
Well, we'll let you get back to it, buddy. Wish you the best luck.
Thank you, boys.
And I tell you what, Dan, Kieran Argent, a few seasons ago, you wait for one race win and you get two at once. Keegs has been waiting 74 races for one race win. The London Buses is on the cards, though.
It is possibly on the cards, but at the same time, it's down to him at the end of the day, and also how much can he stay out of trouble. Smithy goes flying across the line, and Welshie nearly follows him as well. Stovsloff just struggling with internet issues at the minute, but Brian currently in second, but Dean at the minute on pole position as it stands. And massive congratulations to Keegs, because it's been a very long time coming.
It has been a long time coming, and what that means is the Mercedes AMG is now 1 win away from a 50 wins in the Pro-Am, which will make it its 70th race win overall. Dean could make it its 52nd pole in Pro-Am and its 69th pole position overall. So the Mercedes really the dominant choice of car in the Pro-Am category for qualifying and the races. The best Pro car is actually the Porsche, but when it's won 4 Pro championships, it's not hard to see why. The Lamborghini and the Mercedes are both 19 wins behind that, with the M6 on 18 as well. But in Pro-Am, it is really the Mercedes AMG. The Lamborghini has 21 wins, but that is some 28 behind the Mercedes. And in qualifying, the Lamborghini is third with 19 pole positions. The Mercedes is second with 19 pole positions. The Mercedes has 51. Shows how dominant a car it is in this Pro-Am category, Dan. And Dean trying to get another pole position for it, and I want to bounce back after a dismal race too. Is Stelsloff we lose again here?
If Stelsloff is listening, if I was him, I'd be going and doing an internet test as quick as he possibly can before coming back to the session. He normally tends to fix it, so if he does a quick internet test, he should be able to get back in time. But yeah, it's a pain once it decides to constantly disconnect. But no, as you say, Matt, the Mercedes definitely the favourite in the Pro-Am, but the Porsche 911, which we haven't got on the grid at all this season, which upsets me, yeah, for sure. But it may make a comeback next season. Who knows? But you never know. You never know.
Do you know what upsets me?
No Acura.
No Acura. That won't make a comeback next season.
So what is it? The Mercedes is the most dominant car in GT3s overall.
Overall, yeah, the Mercedes is 21 race wins ahead of the Porsche, and it is 32 pole positions. Sorry, and it is 28 pole positions ahead of the Lamborghini in qualifying.
It's amazing to think, isn't it? Like, let's just think back to how many drivers has actually picked the Mercedes and the Porsche. You know, majority of the grid has at least driven the Mercedes once.
Yeah.
But I think myself and Biggs haven't touched it.
Andy didn't touch it. Disco never touched it.
Nor did Kelly.
No, Kelly. Sutty hasn't been in it.
No.
There's a lot of drivers that haven't been in it. Ukbar hasn't. Welshie hasn't. Bryn hasn't. Smithy hasn't. Little Each hasn't.
But it just goes to show that this car is very favoured to most of the drivers. As we can say, most of the grid here as well is just Mercedes. Other than Dean on track at the minute, most of it is Mercedes. As you see there, Holty in the Mercedes, JM Grill's another one, and Lucas Roth another one.
And it's the same in the Pro. You've got myself and Gary, you've got Implauver and Smokey Devil, you've got Mazda and Fury. That's 6 Mercedes-Benz just there, you know. And then you've got 2 Audis. You've then got with Biggs and Argent. You've got 2 Ferraris in Monkey Boy and Peaceful. You've got the 2 Lamborghinis you've got the 4 Lamborghinis in Sutty, Kelly, and then Overtaker and Emo Guy. So just again showing how much the Mercedes is favoured. But I argue this, Dan. I'm a fan of the Mercedes on this game. I argue it's a favoured car in the summer because I don't rate the car in the winter.
See, that's why I prefer the Porsche. I can run it all season long. You know, it can adapt to any season, as Dean Wasaki goes quicker again. But we're not too surprised on that. But the Porsche is well adapted to most situations it's thrown in. It's an all-round good car. It won't be the quickest on the day, but it can adapt to any situation that it's been thrown into, no matter if it's wet, dry, cold, hot, soft tyre, hard tyre. The Porsche is very easy to adapt to, as Welshie doesn't improve. He's 2/10 off his best. As DJ Phil currently goes second fastest of all.
So good lap from DJ Phil there. Bryn needs to find himself a couple of tenths as Dean goes back to the pit lane.
This is another car that's very popular to the drivers, but none of them tend to drive it.
Yes, I get what you're saying. It's one of them that a lot of people enjoy it. Like Sutty's tested it a lot, but hasn't picked it for the league, you know? And it just goes.
Tested it a handful
You've
of times
tested
as
it.
well.
Andy was in it for a season, and Ukbar's been the one to really get it. You look at the Ginetta. It's taken 5 race wins, 3 in the Pro, 2 in the Pro. Them 2 was with Andy. Them 3 have been with Ukbar. And in qualifying, it's took 18 pole positions, 7 of them with Andy and 11 of them with Ukbar. It's actually 1 pole position behind the Audi, which has been a bit more of a favoured car by certain people. Jamie used the Audi for a couple of seasons as Phil comes to the line to complete his lap. He's a bit slow through there, so that is all he's going to do. He's not going to improve on his second place. Bryn, the next to the line. So the stats really showing, Dan, that the Ginetta is kind of a favoured car between the people, but not a lot of people pick it.
You've got to go German, haven't you? Sounds like German is the car to be. It's either Mercedes, Porsche or Audi is what you need.
Well, the Lamborghini is the second best qualifier. It's the third best race winner. The Porsche is the third best qualifier. It's the fourth best race winner. As I think Welshie just nicked second place there at the very end. And he did nick second place there at the very end. So great job from Welshie to nick that P2. Bryn then will drop down to fourth with DJ Phil in third place. Dean Wysocki, though, takes the pole position and takes another pole position for that Mercedes-Benz. And you have to say, he's well above the rest. Shane, the first of the non-qualifiers, because Stostoff obviously had internet problems. From Holt, Leon Fernie, JM Grill, and then the back of the pack looks like it's Little Leach, Ukbar and Lucas Roth. 13th place, and arguably the best place for him. But Dan, who's your tip for race 2?
You can't look past Keeks, can you? You can't look past Lucas Roth at the minute with the pace that he has at this stage, at this race. DJ Phil will have to carry a collar. No, not DJ Phil. It will be Bryn. He will have to carry a qualifying ban for Hockenheim for race 1. But
not actually the worst place to carry a qualifying ban at, knowing how treacherous turn 1 can be.
Well, I know for myself carrying my own qualifying ban from season 2. But in
we've lost a driver.
Who've lost?
Stove Slough.
Who's lost Stove Slough? He's been struggling with internet issues. Ironically, I made contact with your race winner from the race 1 at Daytona. I put him in a wall and got a qualifying ban for Hockenheim for that. But if I'm going to go with a driver, I'm going to go Holty on this one. I'm
going to go JM Grill. So I'm going to stick with JM Grill and see what he can do. So we have lost Stoveslav. Evening to the Evil Scotsman in the chat. 21 people watching, 13 likes. So don't forget, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're new, hit the bell to be notified as well. Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier will be live tomorrow night for the Pro Series. And Dan, I'll just go back to you saying that it's German 1-2 in terms of the car choice. Lamborghini, Italian third. The McLaren's the fourth most race wins at Simplay Motorsport. Tied, though, at the minute with the Audi that's won a couple of races this year. 26, 15 in the Pro Am and 11 in the Pro in the McLaren.
I can't remember who won in it, to be fair. I know I've taken 11, I think, in it, haven't I? Yeah, you took the 11 in the Pro. Dean's got 1 in the Pro Am, Snetterton. We commentated on that with Andy a few seasons back. Didn't DJ Phil win in the wet in Monza? No, that was Lamborghini season 1. Oh, okay. I'm struggling to think the other 14 race winners in the McLaren in Pro Am. Well, either way, I know Mazda might have been one at Nürburgring. Possibly, yeah. Either way, though, we are about to get ready here for race 2. And it's green and go. Welshie and Dean get a pretty even start. In fact, Dean just looks like he's starting to get alongside Welshie and pull away as Smithy and Bryn sort of meet in the middle. And Smithy comes from the right-hand side of the track across the left. Bryn's going to look into turn 1 at Welshie. Gives him the room and respect, though. Breaks a little bit earlier. And Smithy and Bryn still can't get off each other. And both round they go at turn 1. And that is them both off. DJ Phil, was he off there as well? He must have had his own moment a little earlier on. So not as clean through turn 1 this time around, but Dean leads from Welshie, JM Grill and Holty already 3rd and 4th as that's Leon Fernie and Shane going at it side by side. Yeah, already chaos happening in the first corner there, and I've lost my pen and I can't note things down, but Smithy and Bryn coming together there, and not the start they would have wanted for sure. And obviously with the standards of driving this season really going downhill, the stewards from this race onwards will be hardening up on the penalties, so you cannot risk getting involved in incidences now. No, you cannot. Gary says any sign of Dean wipers at the minute. We haven't seen them tonight, but we might see them in this race too, as him and Welshie have a good gap over JM Grill at the moment and are both out front doing the business. And Welshie's right on the back of Dean. Holty's dropped the rear of his car. Lucas Roth's got Leon Fernie and Ukbar side by side here, look, as Lucas Roth's going to go right around the outside of the Ginetta, and that Ginetta proving how little pace it's got. But Welshie out front is going to look to Dean up the inside of the chicane, brakes earlier and tucks back in behind. Sensible job. I've seen the greatest sim race move done at this corner. It was Gary 131 on me in a previous league at the Formula Rookies. Round the outside, a lot braver on the brakes. Move of the century as Leon Fernie and Ukbar have a collision, and that has caught Shane, and I think
That is Little Leach, and if Leon Fernie, no, it's Little Leach. And I think hopefully Leon Fernie has a reset button here.
I hope he does it as well, but if not, he is stuck on his roof and Leon Fernie can't get going. Smithy will now get through. So Leon Fernie, what bad luck there. And he was just caught out. He's still not got going.
Yeah, he's not going yet. Hopefully he has got a reset button set, as Dean and Welsh is still out front by some 2 seconds from JM Grill now. And we didn't see what happened there, but all we saw was Leon Fernie and Ugbor spinning, and it came together then. And is that Leon Fernie out of this race? His dot is still not moving in this one yet. As Dean, is he just opening a gap up to Welsh? He's trying to stay in that slipstream. Half a second is the gap, and Dean currently still leads. He's just got to be patient here, though, Dan, hasn't he? Unlike race 1, he's just got to hold his nerve and keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely so. As he's under pressure from one of the, I know for sure, one of the most greatest drivers to hear at Simplay Motorsport of Welshie. He really put me in pressure in McGann last night in the touring car. So Welshie just needs to pick his time. He knows there's a mistake in Dean. He just needs to pressurize him enough. But he hasn't got too much time left because, Leon Fernie's still on his roof there. But either retires or try and find the reset button. But he hasn't got a lot of time because he has these two hunting them down.
He does indeed, and they have kind of gapped JM Grill a little bit. There was a bit quicker on the last lap, as that is a Smithy trying to get past Ugbor there then. Bryn's now back up to 5th, and Holty's back up to 6th after Bryn's lap 1 incident with Smithy then. So that is job done, as Lucas Roth looking up the inside of JM Grill. Shane's come into the pits. He got caught up with that Leon Fernie incident, let's not forget. As did, it was Leon Fernie who got caught up. Who was the other driver? It was Little Leach, wasn't it, who had the damage as well? That's why he's last. So they have both came into the pits, and we'll probably need to prove the damage there, but hopefully for these two, it's nothing too bad. We have, though, lost Leon Fernie, who obviously had no reset button, so I don't know what the stewards will do about that one, but what a shame, because he had a great race 1.
Yeah, definitely so, and I think there's not really much we can do about that, to be honest. You are told to set a reset button, but if you're on your roof, there's no real. It's classed as a DNF, really. To be fair, you can't really get going, and these two are really starting to creep onto the back of the leaders. As Lucas Roth has now cleared JM Grill.
He has.
He's looking to try and hunt him down.
He's hunting down Popper Welsh then, and this is going to be the scrap that we've wanted to see for a long time, and it's a scrap for a podium. Welsh Senior versus Welsh Junior, who got in trouble yesterday morning. Dan was on his phone on the Discord channel whilst being at work, and Welsh Senior, had to give him a slap on the wrist, and oi boy, get back to work, as that is Bryn, who has a big slide into the chicane, manages to keep it together. Holty gets through, but Dean gapping Welshie just ever so slightly here. 7/10 quicker last lap, but Keegs even quicker than Dean, and they're all coming now.
They are all coming as, once again, my Alexa scares the hell out of me by switching the lights on automatically without me telling. So that was great. But, she's got a lot of pressure now. He's got his younger protege, who's a naughty boy for being on Discord when he wasn't meant to be. And he's now trying to put pressure on his father. Can he find a way through? And I know for a fact that Kelly will be probably watching this, and he'll finally realise that she'll be feeling the same thing right now, that his son will be much faster.
A big wiggle there from Lucas Roth, and I tell you what, Welsh will be able to put his hand on KLF will be able to put his hand on Welsh's shoulders and go, I know that feeling, buddy. I know that feeling. But if he carries on sliding like that, Welsh Senior may just get the best of him. Joe, if I was Keegs here, I'd be giving him a cheeky flash. Got to give the senior, the Popper Smurf, a cheeky flash as you're coming down this back straight, surely.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just a bit like, cheers Dad, I'll catch you later. But
yeah,
will he be like my father and just make it really easy for me to get past, or will he try and hold him up? I think Welshie will want a good scrap here with his son for sure.
Oh, a good wiggle again from Lucas Roth through the chicane. As we have lost Leon Fernie and Self-Stop from this race, that's why we're down to 11 runners. The poll in the chat for the race 2 winner is going the way of Lucas Roth at the minute. But Dean, JM Grill and Holty's got a fair few votes. Still 21 people watching. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Little Leach then, a lap down to this man who's in the 25s and looking a bit more consistent at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So he's a little bit more consistent with his car, but the question is, can he keep it going? It's all well and good being consistent now, but how far can he go?
Indeed it is. Welshie on the back of Little Leach. I bet Welshie didn't expect to be lapping Little Leach this season, as he's coming down the back straight, using all that slipstream of Little Leach to maybe keep Lucas off at bay, and Little Leach pulls to the inside. and just forces Welshie a little wider there. That's gave Keegs a bit of momentum on the back of him as Little Each now pulls out the way and tucks back in behind Keegs, and Keegs gets just a bit closer, Dan. He's really close.
Tasty. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this. The two father and son Scots, they're going to go at it wheel for wheel. And then not like me and my dad, where my dad will move out the way or I'll move out the way of him. But this is going to hot up, guys. Keegs versus Chris, here we go. Who's going to come out on top?
I thought Keegs was going to be brave there and try and send it into the chicane, but he quickly thought, I don't want my internet turning off. I'll not make contact with him here. I'll line him up a little later on. Dean then 3.5 seconds out in the lead. Smithy's got past DJ Phil. That is for 8th place. And Shane and Little Each currently the only two who have pitted with damage in this race early on. They got caught up in the incident with Leon Fernie and Ukbar when Leon Fernie ended up on his roof. That is why Little Each is a lap down. That's why Shane is having to come back through the field. I wonder if Smithy and DJ Phil have had a bad lap last time. Looks, the lap time's not very good. That'll explain why the others are catching. But Dean here, 25 dead, currently doing what he needs to do so far. And that gap just over 2.5 seconds to Welshie. But here now,
He's had a great run here.
He has, and he's set him up. He's already up the inside. And the junior Welsh is going to come flying past his dad. Now, Welshie, how brave are you? How much do you dare tuck underneath? He tries to brake earlier. Little wobble from Keegs there, who knocks the bollards out of the way. And a big slide through mid-corner, and he's gone.
He has gone, and I think what Welshie was trying to do, they were trying to outsmart him. If Lucas Roth had managed to misbrake himself, then he would have gone up the inside and got the position back. But Keegs a little bit smarter than that and has managed to hang on. Can now Keegs hunt down Dean and take the London buses?
Testament at the moment to Dean and Welshie, who are Dean's 5 seconds, nearly 6 seconds ahead of JM Grill, and Welshie a fair few seconds in front of JM Grill as well. So well done there to him. Shout out to DJ Phil, says Rack in the chat. So big shout out there. Make sure you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. But Welshie at the minute holding his own, Dan, and really sort of keeping JM Grill at bay.
Yeah, he is at the minute. JM Grill just doesn't seem to have the outroar pace that Keegs has.
Oh, Little Each!
Little
He
Each
spun round! 2-1!
And around he goes.
And he's going to be a lap down to JM Grill. He's going to have to sit and wait for Halty to come round. I think there's been a problem at the last chicane, because there's 2 dots, very slow. No, that's just Bryn, and I believe Ukbar as well.
Yeah, Ukbar, both drivers are into the pits and within the pit window. Got a little bit distracted there, but they're both into the pits. Going to get their pit stops done and out the way. Again, still Shane and Little Each will have to provide a footage, or at least an image showing their damages. Smithy also into the pits as well. As she's actually managed to stick with Lucas Rock at this stage.
Yeah, stayed in that slipstream a little bit and is able to just keep going at the minute. So Shane's up to 7th place as his teammate and Ukbar and Smithy go into the pit lane then. Dean still 2 seconds at base. Lucas Roth is catching, but not as quick as he may have liked here. Dean's still holding his own 2 seconds. He's not got to get flustered here. He's just got to drive his race as he has been doing all this time. That's a little deep. That'll compromise him, and he's lost him 0.8 of a second at the chicane alone. Lucas Roth flying through that. He's pulled a second through the chicane.
Yeah, Keegs is on one. He is looking to try and hunt down Dean as quickly as he possibly can. Look at that lap time, 24.6. Keegs is on the hunt now.
He is on the hunt, and that is Smithy, who's just came out the pits. So he will go a lap down now. And there is a car in the background coming into the pit lane, I do believe. There is a slow blue dot. No, it must just maybe have had a mistake. It looked a little slow on the track map. And Dean now needs to get back on it because Lucas Roth is within half a second. And the London buses, he's on fire. Argent said it back in season 3 or season 2. He didn't have as long to wait as Lucas Roth, and they are really coming 1 and 2 for him here. 0.4 of a second behind Dean. He knows that Dean, he doesn't need to push as hard. Now, Ukbar not pitted yet compared to Bryn. No, he has pitted. No, so he did jump Bryn in the pits. Apologies, just had to check my notes. So Ukbar then did jump Bryn in the pits and can head after Shane, who's right on the back of DJ Phil at the moment as well. Smithy about to go a lap down here.
Yeah, Smithy about to go lap down. He really probably doesn't want to get involved in this fight. Probably just want to let some of the cars go now.
Oh!
Dean, he gets a little bit involved there with Lucas Roth catching round the ball.
And Smithy there. Dean's round! Dean spanning the chicane on his own!
Oh my God, Matt. Are we going to have
Are we going to have the first ever father-son 1-2 because Dean has threw away this race win and has dropped himself down to 4th? History might not repeat itself.
The man who was so confident coming here with the knowledge, the experience here, and he's just gone and thrown it all away in just one corner.
And Dean then needs to regroup, needs to get back on it. Poor lap from him as Shane then, great move up the inside of DJ Phil. He's going to have the outside line for Abbey. As Phil's a little all over the track there, and Shane, Phil in fact lifts off and lets Shane go. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe DJ Phil's focusing on other things. As JM Grill now onto the back of Dean.
No, Dean's got past JM Grill. JM Grill got yeah, JM Grill did get past Dean, and now he's 2 seconds behind. So I wonder what's happened there.
Not too sure, but DJ Phil opted to come into the pits. That's why he was possibly slow.
Potentially. So Dean then back in to 3rd place, and this is Ukbar and Bryn coming round to overtake DJ Phil, and Ukbar and Bryn fighting in the championship. They both had a little each, so we'll gain points there, but they're both behind Lucas Roth, and Bryn's already lost out to Lucas Roth in this championship fight, but he'll want to gain some more points back over Little Each.
Obviously I was away in the break, getting a coffee and getting prepared. Obviously, that's what you meant to do in the office in the little break there, guys. So make sure you also have a look at our title sponsor as well, Audio Sports, as well, while you're in the mid-session break, because they do brilliant stuff as well. So have a look at them. Also, Sea Leech Designs as well, and also Design Manchester. But I missed out on the championship, so is Lucas Roth leading the title now?
No, Lucas Roth is 40 points off the title. He's 4th place. Holty's coming into the pits at the end of lap 9, but Lucas Roth is 4th. Bryn dropped down to 5th. He's 43 off the back of Little Each. JM Grows now 2nd with Ukbar 3rd. And Lucas Roth 4th in the championship, 40 points, as Bryn has a bit of a moment there, and his Audi just hasn't looked right. We've not seen Bryn this inconsistent for a while. As Shane up to 6th place, can he get past Holty in this one? As Liam Fernie's come back in to maybe cheer on his teammate. Can Shane get past Holty? Obviously, we've got to wait for Shane to maybe pit again. Holty's on his way out of the pit, so that's going to be a no-go. But Dean now pulling ahead of JM Grill, and JM Grill's last lap was some 4 seconds slower than Dean.
Yeah, definitely so, as Little Each has now managed to get past DJ Phil. So that's a place at least for Little Each. There's points there, and this is an example here to all the drivers out there, for whatever championship you're running, whether it's F2, GT3s, touring cars, Clios, whatever you race in. Little Each is setting a perfect example here. Never give up. He was involved in that big lap incident, and he's gained points out of it because DJ Phil has made another mistake, which has allowed him to gain some points. He's getting closer to the back of his teammate Smithy, so you never give up in racing. Never.
What's happened to Keegs? Oh, he's coming in the pits. Apologies, Dan. I just saw the time coming down from him to Welshie. So Welshie leads. Dean will take 2nd place once again here, and if I was Dean and Welshie, I might have followed Keegs in, try and jumped him in the pit lane. JM Grill, I think, is coming in as well, because his white dot looks a little slow on the track map. And yes, he's in as well at the end of lap 10.
And a reminder as well to these guys is that they're fighting for a promotion place.
Yeah.
So if these guys come in the top 3, and obviously with Andy and Disco pulling out, and Max already pretty much gone up into Pro, they're fighting to get back in there. And Holty has had a brilliant final lap there. He's going to jump JM Grill.
So has JM Grill had a few too many problems on this lap as Holty goes deep at turn 1? Holty said in the off-air that he was running the soft tyre. I wonder if JM Grill's soft tyre is burnt out. That's why he's waited till lap 11 to pit. I wonder then, Dan, as Holty loses out to JM Grill by going wide at turn 1, but these two now right with each other. And we normally say about 30 seconds for a pit stop. That'll put Dean and Welshie right in the bus seat for that podium spot here.
It will indeed, but it depends how long they want to keep going. If these two can lap as quickly as Keegs was lapping, then they'll catch them, no problem. Remember, that pit entry is very difficult.
It is indeed. Dean's last lap was a second quicker than Welshie, so he's trying to gain the time that he lost coming through the chicane. And that is a Ginetta facing the wrong way. I saw the lights flashing. I wonder if Phil was flashing just to note the drivers coming through the corner that he's there. Dean's obviously made a mistake this lap again because he was catching Welshie. He's now lost some 1.1 seconds. And DJ Phil here needs to get it facing the right way and does so, as that is Shane who's coming round to put a lap on him. Is Shane P6 at the minute. Again, in the 26ers, very consistent from Shane today.
Yeah, definitely. So just a little bit of bad luck at the race start. He's managed to... but he managed to get going. It's all about learning, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to learn the drivers he's racing. So each driver has different characteristics. I know for a fact that when you drive, especially in the pro, you start to learn each driver's abilities, and you will find a driver that you find difficult to challenge. As Dean's had another poor lap at 27.0 there.
Yeah.
He's lost time to Welshie, and this is what I mean. These two will now start to creep in. But going back to what I was saying about like learning the drivers you're racing against, I know certain drivers I can race and certain drivers I need to give a bit more berth.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Mazda is an incredibly defensive driver.
Yeah.
One of the most difficult people to overtake. But on the other hand, he's not very good at attacking. While the likes of Fury is very aggressive driver, not in a bad way. Like that's his driving style. He's very aggressive. Kind of like a Max Verstappen-esque kind of style.
Yeah.
You just know he's going to ascend it one way or another. Sutty is very aggressive. Well, she's made a mistake. He's
not. He's into the pit. It's so confusing.
I hate this track.
Yeah, Dean Wysocki then carries on his way and takes the lead of this race. We imagine Lucas Roth will come round and overtake Popper Welsh. As can Welchie get in and out the pits before JM Grill and Holty come around. He had the gap to them, but that pit entry is so slow that you can lose a lot of time. Now then, Welchie's away. Great stop. That will put him back in front of JM Grill and Holty here. Lucas Roth, though, will get in front, but how close is Welchie? He's not going to be close enough, but he is well in front of these two.
He is indeed, but they will be hunting him down. He needs to get up to speed and back to a comfortable position. And by the sound of things, a lot of these guys go for the soft tyre. And I think, Matt, this is what's separating Pro and Pro-Am. Because
yes,
I think the better tyre here is the hard tyre.
100%.
But because the drivers in Pro are a lot faster, they attack the cars a lot harder and put more aggression. To be honest, well, she's actually made time on Keeks here.
Yeah, he has.
He's only 2.1. But I don't think Keeks had the best pit stop, to be honest. But I think that the hard tyre is what most of the pros will be running, because the softs will just burn out. And with these guys, they can nurture it a bit better because they're not hitting the track as hard.
And that's it. But the tyres, especially the Tralais, the front left and the rear left, still the tyre that's going off. So if you're in the Mercedes, which is very aggressive on its tyres, the Audis might not be so bad, neither. More so the Ginettas as well, with looking after its tyres. The Mercedes are horrendous. So they could... That's probably why you see Holty and JM Grill making a few mistakes, maybe, because their softs are just burning out. If you're on the hard tyre, if Keegs has gone hard tyre, that's why he dominated race one, because he used his head, and Keegs is a pro driver, let's not forget. He's got the pace of the pros. So Keegs used his head and thought about it, went on the right tyre, and that's why he dominated the first race. Dean back in the 25s, matching the pace of JM Grill and Holty. The gap, 29 seconds. Dean could be right in this scrap, Dan, when he comes into the pits.
He may be matching the guys behind him, but the man he's not matching is this man, the 24.8. Once again, this is the Lucas Roth we know.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Keeks that we know. This is how fast he can be. And when he is left on his own, he's probably sitting there going, I'm bored right now, because he's got no one to race.
He knows he's got a job to do, and this is the thing, Dan, and we've said this since season one. We know Keegs is a very quick kid, and he's only young. He's only just turned 16. Keegs has got a lot of potential, like Fury. Keeks has just got to be in the right mindset to do it, because he can get very distracted and very bored, as he said in the interview. When Keeks is on it, he's as good as anybody else on their day. And he's showing that tonight, that he's got the pace to be matching with that Pro Series. And he'll be the same in F2, I reckon, and it will be the same in the ACC League when that comes in the summer. You're going to see Keegs at his best. As I have had a message off Leon Fernie, had no reset button, will send evidence, was a good race, having a good race tonight, he said. So if Leon is listening, send that forward to Dan, as we will get the poll up for driver of the day. Your vote. We'll do it now. Why not?
I think Leon Fernie should to walk away in this event, even though he's ended up on his roof. I think he should walk away with his head held high after this race, especially with race one. He's much improved since the last time we saw him at Alton Park as well, which a few of the drivers were unsure about him because of that. But tonight, he's definitely proven that he can run with the best.
Yeah.
And if he's got time and he wants to, then he should be. Holty going very wide there.
See.
He should be getting in the testing for Hockenheim, because once again, I think this Mercedes will be strong in Sector 1 and Sector 2.
Yeah, I agree.
But it might struggle in Sector 3.
I agree. Holty there. Now, if he's on the soft tyre, he pitted a little earlier on than JM Grill, and that's the problem for Holty's car. If he's on the soft tyre, that's what it's going to do.
Moment.
He has had a little moment. 25.2 was his last lap. I'd be bringing it into the pits. He's losing time to JM Grill here. And if I was Dean, I'd be wanting to maybe get it in now before it's too late, Lap 15 of 22, he's going to carry on his way again. And
Dean Wasocki, this is his strategy.
Yeah.
He always goes long.
And how many times have we said that it doesn't work for him, but he keeps doing it? Either way, he's going to come out right in this battle of JM Grill and Holty, I reckon. JM Grill, though, trying to hunt down Welshie. Yeah, 27. The inconsistency. If he's had a bad lap, bring it in the pit lane. Get the tyres cooled down a little bit. Go again. Holty, look at Shane in the 25s once again. Look, rapid at the minute tonight. He's really had a good night, has Shane?
He has definitely indeed. And I think he's had a time to just go around and drive on his own, learn how the car feels, and again, learn drivers and figure out who is good, what he can race. And this has not been around for the Audi, let's be honest. The Audi has struggled tonight in the hands of Smithy, Little Leach, Bryn, and Shane. But Shane's got the best of it. He has been, let's argue to say that he has been the best Audi driver tonight. Yeah, him and Little Leach with that P4. He's had is at the minute on for a pair of 6 places. Yeah, he's now in P10. Shane's had a pair of 6 places, and that's why he's on the Driver of the Day vote list, because I think that he's had a cracking night for a guy who came in at Kota. You look at what he did there, and you look at what he's doing now. Dean seems to be back on his pace a little bit, but has still lost a lot of time to. Well, I think he's lost a lot of time.
1.6 down again. Yeah, I think he's on another bad lap here. Gary, the wipers are on, Gary. Lap 16, the window wipers are on. So Dean Wasocki, without fail, has turned the wipers on. What's his lap time? 26.9. It's not great. It is not great.
It is not great. All the guys, including Welshie behind him, are lapping quicker. Welshie's 3/10 off his best. 7/10. He's 7/10 off his best. But still, that's quicker than Dean at the minute.
Yeah.
So Welshie is easily going to jump him. He's 20 seconds ahead. Dean's strategy isn't working.
No, it's not working, and he needs to realise that it's not working, because it's not doing him any favours. There's nobody battling each other. If JM Grill and Holty got involved in a battle, it might help him, but there's too much of a gap between them. Holty 25.4, JM Grill 25.7. Yes, Welshie's last lap wasn't great, but he's already close enough to Dean that he'll jump him in the pits.
The best way to explain this strategy that he's doing, only one person, two people that I know that always runs long and it actually works for him, is Andy and Emo Guy.
Yeah.
Are the only two that I've known for it, so they go really long, and they benefit from it. Andy always depends on the situation that he's been putting at the race start. If he feels like he needs clear air, he comes into the pits.
Yeah.
If he's out in front, he will go as long as he possibly can until the pit window closes. And the same with Emo Guy. He will leave it to the very last minute. And for Dean here, I don't think the strategy's working. He's made too many mistakes, and the tyres are probably screaming at him right now.
Just needs to come into the pits, let the tyres cool down a little bit, and look at that. Well, all right. Okay.
Okay, we won't say no.
But the problem is that consistent? Because if he doesn't do that consistently, he's not going to get anywhere. Yes, all right, he's now gapped Holty and JM Grill a little bit more, but he's still going to be in that battle with them, no matter how good his stuff is. The big moment for Lucas Roth, nearly clipping the tyre wall. That would have been interesting if he'd have hit that, with Welshie gaining on the back of him. Lap 18 in this race then, and it's Dean from Lucas Roth, from Welshie, from JM Grill, from Holty, from Shane, your top 6. Bad night for him tonight, but we said that Ginetta might not be a strong car, but he's not had the best of nights for himself as well tonight. A few mistakes from himself.
Yeah, no, not been his best night, but I know for a fact that Ginetta is going to be stronger in much better places. For example, I know it should be strong at Hockenheim. It's still a very good circuit for the car, especially the final sector should benefit it. But the circuit that I'm excited to see this car at is Oschersleben. I want to see how this car gets on there.
Oschersleben, I'm quite looking forward to Bruno. I think he'll do well at Bruno.
I always forget Bruno. There's a reason why I forget Bruno.
Yeah. Because we don't talk about it. As Dean then has a 19-second gap. In fact, he's pulled a bit of time over Lucas Roth just there. Hasn't pitted and comes round. And there's another mistake, look. A classic Dean Wasocki. And all that time he made up on the last lap has gone. And a 28 now.
8 seconds. He gained 8 seconds and lost it all.
4 seconds he's lost to Holty. That last lap, he was 28 seconds out of Holty. He's now 24. Dean needs to get that car into the pits because it's not working. It's too inconsistent from Dean. Lucas Roth back in the 25s. What's Welchie going to come across the line and do? He's in the 25s. JM Grill and Holty are now 23 and 22 seconds off the back of Dean. They're in the 25s. If Dean's not careful, this man will be... Well, Dean's only got to lose another 10 seconds, Dan, and he's behind Shane.
He is, yeah. And these two just seem to can't get away from each other. Holty is just getting frustrated. I think Holty's now stuck in that horrible limbo air
that we saw with Leon Fernie in race 1.
Yeah, but he had the grunt in the end to catch the back of the Audi, but obviously these two very similar powered.
Yeah.
I think Holty decided to take a little bit more rear wing out, possibly, because that's what Keegs was doing. But the problem is, they're similar engine, and he's in that situation where he's not quite in the slipstream.
Yeah.
You know, he's there, but he's getting more dirty air than actual clean air.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
His car's basically getting a wash effect.
Yeah. Completely agree with that one then, as Dean now decides he's going to pull the trigger and come into the pit lane. Needs a good clean exit through this pit lane, but is it too late? How far will he be behind JM Grill and Holty? Steady on, get it slowed, he has done. How good is the stop then? Here comes Lucas Roth to take the net lead. Welchie, we're on still, Dan, for the father-son 1-2.
We are. Welchie, it's down to you. I think Keegs has got it in the bag. He just needs to do what he's doing. Welchie pumping in some great laps. Look at that, he's fastest of his best so far. He's actually matching Keys at the minute.
Dean has only just left the pit lane. There goes JM Grill. There goes Holty. Dean Wasoki's tactic has not worked. Once again, he's gone long, and Shane's gaining on the back of him. Dean now has to be on it. He can see the podium, and that's what he's got to do to get the podium. But he's left himself very little time. He's got 3 laps. Any mistakes, Shane is 13 seconds behind him at this moment in time. Dan, it's not paid off, and that could be a podium out the window. He needed to pit earlier, but these two now are getting closer to each other and are having a bit of a squabble.
Yeah, Holty right on the back of JM Grill here, and JM Grill, one of the more cleaner drivers here at Simplay Motorsport, and he's trying his best to keep Holty behind him. And Holty, ever since his PlayStation decided to go has now suddenly got a sudden leaf of life as such, and I know Holty has really been wanting to improve his driving, improve his setups. Been asking myself for setups and wheel settings just to help him along, and he's actually using this view from now on, which I suggest all drivers use roof view. It gives you such a better view. You can see cars around you and you can see what's going on. At first it's weird, but it's worth it, and it's helped this man out massively as he heads into the final chicane.
Wipers have got quicker, means Dean's on... Wipers have got quicker. Dean means business, says Gary in the chat. Look at the run. Holty got through the chicane, though. Pulls out to the left now, had a bit of a wiggle. Dean's only 2.5 off the back of this. There he is. So he's really can see that podium opportunity. Father-son, though, out front from JM Grill, from Holty, from Dean, from Shane, from Ukbar. Bryn, Smithy, Little H, DJ Phil, and Dan, the Teletubby Motorsport boys, have really clawed points back over to pick a mixed race Motorsport in this one. Smithy and Little H not scoring big, but Teletubbies could lead the constructors by the end of the night. We'll have to see. At the minute, though, these two having a cracking little scrap.
They're having a great scrap at this minute. JM Grill was doing everything he can to have another pair of podiums once again. This man has been really good this part of the season. But Holty and Lucas Roth, both of the Teletubby boys, at this round have managed to step the bar once again. And the likes of Little Leach and Bryn have really got to bring their A game, because the two at green Mercedes are coming for their championship.
Ukbar as well in the mix has got to bring his A game, and if Dean wanted to carry on, JM Grill's right in that championship battle. Holty, though, very wide, and that has lost him a lot of momentum and a lot of slipstream. In fact, it's lost him a bit of time to Dean Wasoki. Keegs is on the back of one of the Audis now. That is either Little Each or Smithy, who he's on the back of. And that Audi's had a spin, I do believe. So is that Little Each? It is, who's had a moment. And now Welchie's through to lap him. Keegs starts the final lap of this race. And Dean's got 3 seconds to Holty. So a podium has gone for Dean Wasoki then.
He's had another moment.
I think so.
There. I think I know what the window wipers are for now.
What?
It's Dean's hammer time.
Yes. It's indication to us that Dean is on the hammer time. He might want to stop hammer time because it's not doing him any favours. A 27.2, not the best of first laps out of the pits for Dean. Welchie then could be coming home to have the first ever father-son 1-2. Me and Floyd couldn't do it. Dan and Kelly couldn't do it. But my God, could Welchie and Keegs here. And I think Dean's had another mistake. He has had another mistake.
Where's Shane? He's not too far away. He doesn't want to overheat those tyres as Shane's very low on fuel. Lucas Ruff even said to us he was very tight on fuel towards the end. But Keegs, it's one race win. It's going to be the London buses here.
It is going to be the London buses. Absolutely brilliant stuff. He's drove a great race all night. He will want to come back to Silverstone Classic, no doubt. Shane is really gaining on Dean 5 seconds. Dean cannot afford to drop it one more time. But here comes Lucas Roth. The London buses are out in force. The bigger thing is it's going to be a first father 1-2. They're not in the team, but I'm sure the Welsh household will be happy with that. 4 podiums in a row for JM Grill. It ends a streak of P2s. And Holty's dropped it. And if Dean was he hadn't have spun, he'd have maybe got Holty at the very end. Dean's dropped it again. Oh, it is it an Audi that span at the chicane. And Dean manages to just get it going. That's going to bring him over P5. Holty got crossed the line for 4th. What could have been for Dean, but he left it too late. Shane, though, gets a P6. Again, a pair of P6s for him. Take nothing away from Shane's drive. Ukbar, better second race, a pair of 7th places. But what he's lost, in fact, he hasn't actually, he's gained over Lidl each, but he's lost massively to Lucas Roth. We'll get into the championship in just a moment or two. His teammate DJ Phil down in 11th, I think, has already crossed the line. Smithy is 10th. Lidl each has crossed the line in 9th. Was that Smithy at the end then who had the spin, I wonder? Bryn will cross the line for P8 as well. And we are just awaiting.
I think both of them boys were just in that mix there as they come across the line. It's just DJ Phil across the line. But what a night's worth of racing here at Silverstone.
What a drive.
Raw, some absolute chaos.
You've got a few more minutes to get your vote in for driver of the day. We're just going to await the fastest lap, which I imagine, I saw Dean in the 24s, but I imagine Keegs was the quicker driver in that one. We'll just check the fastest laps when they load now. Keegs a 24.6, Dean a 24.6. It's close, but Keegs does actually take the fastest lap. So for Keegs, bar quali 2, which he can't qualify for, he's taken a clean sweep, 74 races. And like the London buses, or in fact, let's go the Glasgow buses, in fact, being Scottish. They come at once, and he takes 2 wins here tonight. Welshie on the podium with him as well as James Grill. The first father-son 1-2, and they are both in the chat. And Welshie, that was a better second race, and you've got to be pleased for the boy in the loft.
Oh my God, that's amazing. A fantastic race for Keegs there. Race 1 and race 2, well done to him. He's well deserved it. He was on another pace tonight. For myself, obviously, race 1, we decided to split the strategy. I went on hards and Michael went on softs. Didn't work out for me. This time, obviously, changed it, and I just had to keep that pace up and not make the mistakes. Luckily enough, Keegs come down during quali 2 and kind of give us a few tips on gear changes and the corners, so that's kind of helped us. So I had to just keep that gap between the Mercedes behind us. 25.3 fastest lap. You had some great pace in that race. You was matching James Grill and Holty all race, and as well as Dean at times. Me and Floyd didn't get the 1-2. Dan and Kelly didn't get the 1-2. The first father, what son 1-2. It's a shame Stelfsoft wasn't here to make it an all-family 1-2-3. That would have been perfect then, wouldn't it?
How good a night was that from yourself, though? Because like I say, race 1 wasn't great, but you sort of bounced back in this second race. You seem to be becoming a bit of a second race specialist this season.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. I seem to be getting a bit of misluck in the first races, Obviously, I had an incident at the start of race 1. I had some damage, had to deal with it. But then I did make my own mistake, one the hard tyres, hit the bloody tyres at that chicane, which caused me the biggest problem. And like I say, just changed my strategy, listened to what Keegs says to us during it, and I just had to go for it. Like I say, I knew the Mercedes were extremely fast on the straight, so I just need to keep that distance to stop them getting in the toe and go for it.
Be honest with us. How bad was you trying to keep him behind you?
There's water pouring down my face, put it that way.
Well, well done.
I'm sweating with the grip of that steering wheel.
Well done tonight, Welshie. Congrats on the P2. And Keegs, Argent said the London Busters 1-2, but that was only in season 2. You've waited 75 races for this.
75 races and it's happened. It's about time, innit?
Great pace again from you in this race. Did you think that your dad might get you if you made a mistake or two? Because him and Dean looked a bit quicker in that second one.
I didn't feel as confident in that one, if I'm being honest. I was making a bit more mistakes, so I wasn't pushing as much. I was sort of trying to just keep it on the track, get some stable times in.
Great.
Yeah.
Good pit stop from yourself. Managed to bring you out ahead of the traffic behind you and keep that big gap. It was just a matter of when Dean came into the pits to take that race lead, wasn't it? Yeah,
I thought I'd pit early to make it a bit interesting, so I wasn't out in front for ages because I wanted to overtake people. I didn't want to make it warm for myself. I knew Dean was going to pit really late, so I was just sort of keeping that gap. I wasn't wanting to push because I know I wasn't as confident in that race, so I wasn't wanting to make that mistake. So I just kept the gap, and then just went like that.
Well, you've took the fans' driver of the day. I don't know where the poll's gone, but you have taken the fans' driver of the day. Congratulations on tonight. And that moves us to the championship tables where Little Each, his championship lead gets cut short to 21 points. And it's Lucas Roth who's in second place, 21 points behind him. He's jumped James Grill and Ukbar, who they have brought the gap down to Little Each as well. James Grill's 24 points off the back and Ukbar 36. Bryn gains a few points to be 42 behind. Welchie moves him right up into P6 after that second place, 68 off the championship lead. He's got above Holty and Dean Wasocki. Dean drops from fifth down to P8 in tonight's standings. Smithy up in tonight. Stosoff 10th, obviously with Max moving into the pro. DJ Phil 12th. Shane climbs above that Bozzy boy, so he's going to need to call in sick at work and do something to get back in this championship. Leon Fernie down in 15th place, and Teletubby Motorsport have a 2-point lead at the top of the constructors standings from Pick and Mix. Terminal Velocity Racing are 61 behind with My Mate Racing gaining on the back of them, and MC Motorsport 2 points behind My Mate Racing, so good points for them tonight as well. The Super Crash Bros lost a few points in that championship as well, and Dean Wasocki and Leon Fernie getting quicker, My Mate bringing up the rear. Dan, final thoughts from yourself and driver of the day.
Well, once again, Silverstone Classic in touring cars, and today they produced some great racing, and it's been a complete and utter Scottish domination with Keith. He's absolutely nailed it in race 1 and 2, and he's gone and nailed it again. But this time with his dad on the podium, and it's finally nice to have a father-son duo on the top step. Me and Kelly couldn't do it, as you said, and nor could you and Floyd. But I have to say, what an amazing night's worth of racing. And I'll tell you what, the man I'm going to give driver of the day tonight is JM Grill for a consistency. We knew Keeks was going to be strong tonight. He just showed it. But JM Grill with another second and third, his consistency is keeping him in this championship. So that's my driver of the day.
It is as well. I'm going to give mine to Keegs, but an honourable shout out to James Grill and Shane, because Shane is coming on stronger and stronger. Welchie and Holty as well can have a little shout out for their podiums in this one. But Lucas Roth, my driver of the day, 75 races and they come together. What a night it's been. Join Dan and Jamie tomorrow night for the Pro Series. A bit of a shorter grid with a few people away on holidays and at Goodwood. So what can the boys do around Silverstone Classic? And the F2s start on Sunday. 2 races in the F2 Championship, the sprint and the feature. It's going to be fantastic to see what them guys can do out in that one. We'll be back next Wednesday night at Hockenheim. We go across the channel towards Germany, and Hockenheim, it was a favourite a couple of seasons ago. Can it provide great entertainment once again?
I was just going to say, Matt, there's one other special thing that's happening at Hockenheim.
Right.
It'll be on my 27th.
Oh, yes, it will. It will be Dan's birthday when he's commentating on the Pro. So make sure you tune in and say happy birthday to him on the Thursday night. That as well is the Mercedes-Benz AMG 50th Pro-Am victory. So what a night that is. Smithy will make his 100th appearance next week, and a few people getting close to that 50 mark. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Good night.